A big chocolate person.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again, a new edition, Freebird Rules edition of a special edition. That's right, tonight on the Money Podcast, live in living color here at the On the Money Sports Lounge and Casino, the epicenter of nostalgia mania, bringing you everything that you need to know in the sports multiverse and more, because there is so much that you need to know. Nonetheless, here we are, geared up, ready to talk about everything. Not to mention, tonight we are officially doing the Sandlot Baseball Association draft order, NFL free agency frenzy, and Supreme Baller Society playoff race continues. It's Freebird Rules. Next to me, as always, none other than Mr. Sick Picks himself, Mike B, in the building.
Let's go. What it do, baby?
And on the other side,
I'm so quiet right now. I'm trying to get everything out.
Yeah, we're trying to get the gimmicks situated right now because it's going to be an all hands on deck type of episode. One of those nights where breaking news does tend to happen and we just veer completely off
Andrew
track
checking in already.
We
Number one Saquon Barkley fan checking in.
Wow. Drew is checking in. What's going on, bro?
Chris is also just checked in.
Make sure you
give me that number one pick, damn it.
Make sure you stay tuned in.
Cheating ass Eagles per usual.
Right.
Per usual. Lo and behold, it seems that there were some conversations that were taking place before free agency that allegedly may or may not have happened between Howie Roseman and Saquon Barkley. The NFL is currently investigating. So, like I said, if we get any type of breaking news, if we get any type of breaking news, we're gonna talk about it as is. As of right now, it's just allegations.
What up, Bobby?
But we shall see what's going on.
Got a lot of Go Birds going on there.
Yeah, the Birds are checking in. I know that they're excited to talk free agency.
Damn, a little show. Usually it shows their names when I'm watching.
Off of what's that? Off of the profile?
Yeah.
It's like you're watching it off of like how the computer is. I can always end up going into like the live feed and just keeping up with the comments through there, because I know people. The comments were flowing like crazy last week. We were doing our bold predictions last week, and I mean, man, like how much can change in a week? Like, yeah, like everybody was flowing. Everybody had the comments flowing, and we expect for the same to happen tonight because so much has happened in a span of 1 week. So many signings and new faces and new places and markets that were affected positively and negatively. Like, I feel so bad for the rookie running backs that are coming in because it's just so much movement and so much, like, where do we even begin?
I don't. It's been crazy. It's been super bananas. NFL free agency. Things have happened that.
Shut up, Mikey, with your stupid shirt.
Hey, Dre, I know who it is. You don't even got to tell me who said that. I already know who it is, Dre.
Well, Bobby's quoting him.
Oh. Yeah, man. As far as where to start, dude, it's like, where do you start? Things have happened in the last 2 days that literally changed the landscape of the NFL, that changed the landscape of how teams are going to draft next month. It literally changed the landscape of fantasy football. But fantasy football is that's a story for another day. Right now, man, I mean,
we're talking about real football, real news.
Real football, real
and
news.
And the impact that it has on teams. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you don't win a championship in March, but you can help get yourself prepared.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You can definitely lose one in March. If you don't do anything, you just sit on your ass.
Holla, Dallas Cowboys! Yo, somebody go wake up Jerry. Jerry's still snoozing. He's been on a fucking nap time for a minute.
We're going to talk about the winners.
They were in on Zach Moss, but he wouldn't pay any more than
They didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay.
That's crazy.
They're wild as hell. They didn't want to pay Zach Moss. And Zach Moss and Chase Brown are going to be a nice combination of a nice little running back tandem for Cincinnati at an affordable price. Like, they didn't have to pay him a lot of money. Like, Cincinnati was probably just like, okay, just get the deal done. Like, just like, what the hell? Like,
and then they traded Joe Mixon.
Mixon.
The reportings were saying he was going to be cut.
Joe Mixon to the Houston Texans was huge. I know that there's, like we said,
Cowboys signed Eric Kendricks. They did sign linebacker Eric Kendricks before we started the.
Eric Kendricks.
But
He
he's
old
an
as shit.
older name, you
I was gonna
know.
say he old as shit. What is the hell?
We'll probably end up doing like a.
It looks like Jerry might be in a rebuild mode, maybe.
rebuild
No,
mode.
maybe
way. You don't
lose?
rebuild
No, I'm hearing
Dak
that they're-
Prescott, CD Lamb. Like what?
They're trying to readjust
They need
Dak's
to
contract.
retool, but honestly, dude,
So is Dak being hard
the
about changing
Commanders
that
getting
contract?
Eckler at that price was honestly
I like what they're doing there.
insane, dude. I mean, he's getting paid $3.5 or $4 million for the first
What was the
year.
quarterback that signed with Washington? Didn't somebody sign with Washington?
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, he ain't starting.
I didn't even see that.
He's starting over Sam Howell. You think?
Well, I heard
Nah.
Sam Howell might get released.
Maybe they're linked to Drake May. They're linked to Jaden
they're not
McDaniels.
sold on Howell. So I heard
Jaden
him.
Daniels would make a lot of sense for Washington, and that would honestly make me like what they're doing even more when you bring him into the mix with those wide receivers and those running
Meanwhile,
backs.
Jokic is sitting
Like-
on the sideline, like screw your parlays.
A great timeshare. Screw your parlays. Tonight.
I don't care about your tickets.
A great timeshare between Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler because, yes, those of you who are in love with Austin Eckler, have him in Dynasty, he is going to be sharing the rock with a young 24-year-old Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
What
That
up,
is the
Raj
reality
and
of
Raj
the
Senior?
situation.
What up? Raj's been on it,
Gibson was the
bro.
bruiser between the two. though.
I've been working
And
I've worked a total of 40 hours in the last 3 days.
Ugh.
Yeah. So when you heard my brief intermissions here and there, it was like, all right, Oscar, stop. You gotta keep going, or you're gonna be here later than what you need to be.
Right.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot.
been
So
it's-
I haven't been able to post as much as I'd like.
it's been the free agency forefront. It's just like having football back these last couple of days. You've got the, if you are a,
You know what, Raj? This is what you earned this week for the last couple days.
One Drew Buck.
5 million Drew Bucks. Sent out
The Drew Bucks
What's it?
are coming your way.
What
Raj.
did Michael Scott say? $500 check sent out to rabies. The cure for rabies
Oh,
will be
shit.
paid in Drew Bucks.
Yo, we should make this a poster.
Nonetheless, I mean, like with everything that's happening, especially if you're like me and Matt, where we're doing we got our Discord going on with the basketball, and you've got free agency where it's like with basketball, we're using the analytical part of our minds. Football is just straight raw emotion based off of what's happening in front of us. So it's feelings ball, it's the analytics, it's everything that we love about sports happening at the same time, not to mention the live drawing that we're about to do before
But
we get
before
a
we
little
do
too
that,
deep into it.
I would like to let everybody know today's podcast is sponsored by Brianna's Treats.
Yeah.
Here's the menu for this week.
Hit him up.
She will drop off in the Brixton, Vineland, Millville area for an extra $5. You could do Cash App, Apple Pay, or Exact Change. Purchase 2 6.8-ounce cakes for $11 this week. She's got the Lucky Charms cake. She's got the Shamrock shake. And, of course, the classic chocolate cake. So whoever's in the area,
Shamrock Shake.
get some damn
St. Patty's Day
cakes.
weekend.
This is all going towards my daughter's college fund. She's hustling and bustling. Let's get it going. Help her out. I'll leave the menu right here. And not on top of that, as I take the menu off, we have last week's right here. Cookies and cream cake that the man right here was
Wow,
more
the
than
spoon on the side.
Yeah,
too.
little
That's
fancy
classy,
spoon.
bro.
Me, on the other hand, as the
Classy, bro.
father, I told her, do not waste any labels. Do not give me the fancy spoon or ribbon because we are thinking about costs. We got to be in the black and not the red.
In the green, baby. All in the green.
I had no idea Mikey was coming this week,
It's
but I
all right.
I knew Mikey. I figured once I started reading the comments, the antagonizing people coming after, I had a feeling he was going to show, but it was too late by then. I completely understand why you are here today. I
Mikey
know
had to
you
make
want
the
to
running.
speak your piece.
Yep, it's okay.
I know
We're
Mikey
gonna
had
get
to
through
make
the
the
draft order
I'm
first.
going to take a little
we're
spoon
gonna-
right
We're gonna
now.
do the draft order first before I speak my.
Here we
speak my
go. Get this little gimmick in here.
Oh, Jamal Murray.
piece.
Checking
That's-
DraftKings real quick. Had a little bit of time. Had to check the.
Damn, that's better than what I do. Normally, I'm the baker of the house.
That was amazing.
I'm not even going to lie. Normally, I'm the one that bakes. if y'all been following me lately, you've been seeing me laying it down with some chicken parm sandwiches,
That chicken parm was good.
pizza.
I look good as hell.
Oh, that chicken parm was amazing.
Yeah, that shit was good.
The heat of the chicken parm is breading it twice.
Yes, I've seen that.
And you gotta get it in the egg, soak it in the egg, throw it in the breadcrumbs, soak it back in the egg, soak it again in the breadcrumbs, shake it, throw it in the fryer, and unbelievable.
Magnifique.
Magnifique.
All right, so we're ready to do this draft order.
Let's do it.
So
I expect all y'all around here to order.
hopefully, order yours today.
I love
Oh,
you
wait.
too, Dre.
So you guys know Sandlot Baseball Association. Super, super excited. This is the first time that I get to be the commissioner.
All right,
of
I'm
a fantasy
fat. I got to
league.
keep going.
After being a competitor in leagues for so long, now it's like the
I
commissioner
can't believe you're
being
not a
on this
chocolate
side
guy,
of it.
Mike.
I'm not,
Like,
man.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be able to venture into the world of fantasy baseball because guess
Damn.
what? Baseball is once again a hot topic on the podcast. Baseball is back. Opening day is around the corner. March
I'm
28th,
excited for
it's
this league.
going down. And our official draft is going to be happening live on this podcast. You know, some of the best moments happen while we're on air. You get the live reaction. Last year, the first year that I did fantasy baseball, we were live on the podcast. I was online this year.
Yeah, we were live,
It's gonna be
pal.
no different, except the only difference is it's more of our insiders of the group that are involved in this league. All the insiders, as a matter of fact. And
What up,
it goes
Noli?
Down on the 27th. Noli, what's going on? Glad that you're checked in. Diamond Dominant. Yeah, the Padres. That's what it is, though, bro. We take Soto. It's a game of chess, bro. We see free agency, all sports. It's a game of chess, bro. It's chess, not checkers. Some of these moves that are made are moves that hurt. Like, they're moves that wound other teams. You want to be able to weaken some of your opponents so that when it's time to face them, you have the advantage. It's the art of war. And for the Padres, hey, you've got your city paying extra tax dollars for the loan that you took out for the baseball team that you had last season. So the least you could do is go get a freaking pitcher for your team because you know Snell ain't staying.
Yep.
So, I mean, so much more baseball news and talk is going to start coming in the next couple of weeks as we ramp up that conversation. Garrett Cole is going to be out 1 to 2 months. I'm not ready to talk about that just yet.
That's just speculation, really. They really don't know what.
That's a Woozy and a Wazzy for right now.
Yeah, it's super frustrating and super scary to hear what's going to be happening in New York right now with the Yankees. But like I was saying, yeah.
So
I told somebody, I think it was Julio on Facebook. I don't want to hear any more excuses. when it
AD
comes to
walking in the
Yankees.
building.
there are no excuses.
I don't want to
It's
hear it, bro.
championship or bust.
We
every
just
year.
seen
That's
two
all it
teams in the
is.
World Series last year that probably had no business being nowhere near them.
No, they did
and
not.
No, I mean, the Rangers, though, with all the moves that they made, I think that we were all looking at it like, oh, the Rangers better do it this year. No excuses. And they ended
Yeah,
up
but there were
doing it.
still better teams than them in the playoffs.
There were better teams, but those bats got hot. And the Mets ended up helping the Astros and the Rangers get to the ALCS
Yeah.
by giving, Scherzer and Verlander away for nothing. So there was a lot of components to how it happened and how it played out, just like every season. Sometimes you look and you ask yourself, you look at a team and like you say, how the hell did you get this far? Like, you have been the same team week in and week out, just messy, clumsy. Like, how the hell did you get this far?
We're done. We're done.
All right, we're done.
We're done.
Oh,
We're done.
Sorry.
We're done.
Striking a nerve.
I mean, all three of our teams done a lot of stumbling and bumbling, though. It hasn't been pretty, right? Like, it's safe to say. And free agency hasn't been pretty. Some of it has. Some of it's been ugly. It's been the ugly truth, the ugly reality of some markets that are crashing before your eyes. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. First and foremost, we're going to handle some business here so that
Let's do it.
everybody knows there's no...
We're doing
We're
our
not holding
draft
it back.
order right now for the inaugural season.
10-1.
Season 1. A lot of you guys,
Go to
this
Green
is your
Apple.
first time doing fantasy baseball. For Terrell and myself, this is only our second year doing fantasy baseball. So a lot to learn, a lot of, like, if you do this fantasy basketball.
Spoiler alert, I tried it 1 year and I stopped by the month of June.
Oh, yeah. That was in 2008 for me. One and done time. Hated it way too
You weren't
much.
ready for it at the time.
No, yeah. I mean, we're talking, I was
Oh,
18
gosh.
years old, man. There was a lot more things going on that summer.
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't have the time for that. I tried like fantasy basketball like years and years ago on my computer, and I never checked it on my team. I remember drafting Kyle Korver, and just I wasn't ready for it. Now, like we're sports fanatics. and we are ready to venture into the world of not just baseball but fantasy baseball.
We're dads
And
now.
grow this league. Yeah, we're dads now, man. We just be chilling. Grow this league.
So you were a dad already.
Get a championship. Yeah. Been dad my whole life. So
Before me.
with that being said, we're going to work our way from 10 to 1. We're going to build the suspense. Everybody who's a part of the Sandlot Baseball Association, I hope that you're watching right now because this is it right here. The suspense is over. You're going to be knowing where you're going to be drafting, and it's going to help you with a little bit of your strategizing with your mock drafts. So the first name out of the hat with the number 10 overall pick. It's you.
Son of a mother.
Damn
it.
It's Mikey.
That's all right.
Mikey with pick number 10.
I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. You got no choice. By the off chance of some of you who are in the league that are tuning in a little bit later, we will go through the drawing list for the draft order as we're talking football. Don't worry, not going to miss a beat. You're getting the updates, everything you need to know. Breaking news.
Who else said your shirt is so stupid?
Dre did.
Probably
First time was Bobby, then Dre actually commented it.
All right. Is Jokic back in the game for you? Well,
No, I don't
for all
think
of
he
us, actually, because I bet on his triple-double tonight, so I need him to get active. I hope that he had a good enough rest, and he's... Oh, shit, look, it's O Money at number 9.
What the?
All right.
All right.
Money
What's
at number
happening?
9.
Well, Bryce Harper's not coming to me, so
Guess I'm not
it's time to
getting Aaron
change
Judge.
name.
Too many Phillies fans in this league for you to think that you're going to be able to get your guys that are in red.
Right.
That's where you guys are going to end up having your
Now I gotta
Philly
be
versus
smart
Philly
about
rivalries. So far, we've got Mikey at 10. We've got Oscar at 9. I'm going to let one of you guys draw. Mix it up a bit. Wanted to do the honors as the commish of the league. Super excited to be the commish. Venture off into
Rob.
this new Rob Rose, the man who has been working tirelessly in the forum last couple of days with all the updates and the news, dropping Rose bombs like the ones that the Eagles were potentially tampering. Put their deal to take on Barkley, which was absolutely insane. Oscar,
Man,
you want to pick
that
one?
3?
We've got basketball going on
Michael
beside
Porter.
us live. We've got the Nuggets versus Heat. Michael Porter just banged another 3. Hopefully he hit his prop for me.
Are we ready?
Who's
Matt.
next? Matt Mateo at number 7. Lucky number 7. All right. So far we've got Mikey at number 10. O Money, number 9.
BS.
Rob at 8. And Matt at 7.
Imagine letting a young star walk in the free agency and 2 years later spend $94 million on someone way older. Oh!
Listen,
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen,
Bro.
coming out of the hole he has been hiding since last August, Jumpin' Jay Fizzle!
Listen, buddy.
Let him
The
know.
fact of the matter is, the people who were in charge at the time no longer have jobs within the organization. So if you guys want to go back and rehash the past as far as AJ Brown and why he's not with us, bro, the fact that we're drafting at number 7 right now should tell you everything to know as far as why we are in the position we're in, because we did not re-sign AJ Brown. And not for nothing, we're paying a lot less for Calvin Ridley than AJ Brown is getting paid right now with his, 3 microscopic knee surgeries at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. We could rehash the past if you guys want to, but remember, context is key in this situation. The guys that are making these decisions for us right now are not the guys who were there when AJ Brown could have been re-signed. Otherwise, AJ Brown would still be a Tennessee Titan to this day.
Honestly, that's the biggest save for that whole scenario and situation. Like, people are gonna, throw this in the face for a while for the first couple months.
Like,
Yeah.
it's recent history.
You just gotta keep eating it.
Like, it's recent history.
Yeah, and that's why it's easy for people to kind of throw it in the face. But honestly,
But they're-
the
it's-
fact that nobody's employed there anymore,
They're gone.
because
They're gone
of what
because
they
of
did.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
because
that's-
of that happening,
We paid the
those people
price for
aren't
that.
there anymore. So it's like,
Like, you can't hang that over my head when we already paid the
Yeah.
price for that. This is
Bro.
a new regime and a new day.
Man, I just had the old GM got fired on the way back after they lost to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired
Yeah,
on that day.
Yeah, I don't even think he made it back to Tennessee
he didn't-
before they fired his
He
ass.
was back on the plane. He's like, you know you're done, right?
You know you're gonna get on Frontier, right?
You know you're done,
You're not
right?
getting on the jet.
AJ Brown just had 2 touchdowns on us. Like you're out of here.
You're out of here.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
bro.
Kansas City still has assigned the wide receiver.
I know this is weird.
Well, they're trying to. Well, Pat Mahomes is taking a pay cut, and Kansas City's big
Well, not
move.
Peka. He's restructuring his deal.
Restructuring. Yeah, he's restructuring.
He's basically getting
Push your
money
money
he was
back.
going to get
Push
later
your money
down
back.
Right.
up front
Kan-
and push that other like cap number down.
Kansas City's big move was keeping Chris Jones. That was their big move of the offseason because you had to make that move. You couldn't let
tried
it
to
And they
outside.
still-
pass
and they're
Snead,
still
but they can't
very-
even afford
They're
that.
undecided on what they want to do with Snead.
That,
They don't know if they want to keep
Well,
him or
they
trade him still.
technically hit him with the tag, technically.
Snead's getting traded, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it seems
Snead's
like
going
he is,
somewhere.
but he is technically.
The
I-
asking price
like,
is steep.
I wasn't
I
expecting.
heard it's like they want some serious capital back.
With the Snead situation, I kind of feel like it is with our situation with Ridley. Like we came in out of nowhere, swooped in, and grabbed
That's-
Ridley, and I think the same thing's going to happen with Snead. Like there's going to be a team that's not being discussed right
I
now.
want him.
That's
Well,
going to end up.
I
getting
want
him.
him.
The thing
I don't
is
want to
with-
give a first
The
round
thing is
pick
about
for
the
him.
Snead trade is that the Giants kind of set the tone.
I
Because,
think they are going to sign Hollywood Brown tomorrow.
For the Chiefs.
Mm,
That
That'd be
speed, but
interesting.
he's got to stay on the field.
I mean, it's a Chiefs type of signing. They don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's the type of signing that the Chiefs would make. As
but
far as a wide
who would you
receiver.
guys consider as a better defensive player, Brian Burns or Jerry
Brian
Snead,
Burns.
right?
Uh,
So if
well,
we got him for a 2
are
and a
we
5,
counting Snead's injury history
Supposedly-
against him?
Supposedly,
And age, I guess.
Deontay
kinda have
Johnson
to.
and his agent almost had compensation worked out to go to the Chiefs, but the Steelers said no, we're not trading you in conference.
Yeah. And good on you guys. Good on you guys. It's smart. It's chess, not checkers, bro.
Right.
Art of war.
Right.
You're
Straight
not
up
trying to make
told
your-
them,
you're
we're not
trying to-
sending you in the conference. And you know what you get? You get to go to the worst team in the league.
Right.
And a lot of that had to do with his behavior lately.
There's number 6.
They said
Number
he was a
6,
negative
Sandlot
influence
Baseball
on
Association.
George
Terrell.
Pickens.
Damn, he called it too. He's always at the 6th spot.
Yeah, he is.
Chris said he thinks Mike Williams is going to be a Chief.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
Chiefs type of a signing. Honestly, like I don't expect them to make any crazy move at that position, but there's other positions that they're shoring up. Not to mention a very young defense that a lot of them are draft picks from the last couple of years. So it's about restructuring and managing your funds so that you can keep this team and potentially three-peat, basically.
Right.
All right, so far we've got Mikey drafting at number 10, O Money at 9, Roj at 8,
Hunter
Matt
Renfro's
at
a
7.
sneaky 8. I think he's going to have a good year as long as he goes to the
Terrell
right
at
team.
6,
Steelers were offered Johnson in the 3rd for Snead.
Steelers raw.
That's probably what the Chiefs wanted.
Interesting.
Wait, and you wouldn't do that?
Renfro would be cheap, Jake. That would be a
That's a good deal.
Kevin Colbert doesn't want him in.
whatever you guys do. You're not going to spend a lot of money doing it right now. I know how the Chiefs operate. Like I love how the Steelers
Oh,
operate.
they didn't
like,
want Johnson in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a bad move on your guys' part.
what take Snead and
Johnson
the pick.
for the for Snead, I'd do it.
But
all
then you
day.
got to give Snead a contract, too.
I mean, you just said you wanted him.
Dog, Steelers
I
don't
do
want to pay
want 'em,
nobody.
but I
Steelers
also
are
gotta
cheap.
be-
Steelers are cheap, bro. They're not paying nobody.
That's not true.
There's-
Some,
You
I mean,
Steelers
at
are
some
cheap,
point
bro.
you gotta like pony up.
They're
We
not gonna
re-sign
do
our
it.
own.
Yeah, you do it your way. You do it the Steeler way. Same with the Packers. Like
Because that deal that
It's the
TJ Watt
blue
signed
bloods
a
of the
couple years
league,
ago
bro.
ain't cheap.
it's the blue bloods of the league. I mean, you know you're signing
That
TJ Watt.
deal-
That's a no-brainer. But most guys, you're gonna let him walk before you pay him. That's how it is.
I don't know. You
with
do
a lot
gotta
of teams.
pony up though. You do.
I ain't got to do that, bro. That cake was too damn good.
to.
All right, so at number 5, we have
I watch sports shows all the time where they're eating.
Seth.
Sad.
Ha
All right, Seth. That's
Is
number
Aaron
5
Judge in
spot.
play at that spot?
Could be.
What, 5?
I mean, with the injury,
I've done mocks where he's
Steelers
actually going
country.
like
Let's
9.
ride.
Let's ride.
Hey.
All right, so everybody's been tagging me.
Still
and
got
everything.
it.
Hold on. We're gonna get before you get into your
All right.
Steelers propaganda. We're gonna get through this draft order. All right.
I'm
Relax.
not-
We're both.
Right, just-
I just want everybody. I'm not mad.
I mean, why would you be mad? He didn't pay
1.2
shit.
million.
He didn't pay shit for him. Why
Yeah,
would you
no
be
reason
mad?
to be mad. No reason.
And now it's time for 2 gloves to take a hike. It's over. Give me that number 1, baby. Here we go. We've got 1 through 4 left.
Chris, you're next.
Want to draw a name?
Oh, go ahead. I was about to Chris.
That'd be crazy if it's first.
It's you.
It's me at number 4.
Yep.
You on that 4.
All right, at the
But
number 4
wait.
spot.
There's more.
Interesting, bro. Everything. I mean, shit. All right, here we go. Top 3 left. This is the lottery of the NBA. At the number 3 spot, we've got Andrew at number 3. I don't know why I'm holding it
Holy
up.
Well, Bryce Harper's gone.
We've got Andrew at the number 3 spot. Time to start doing your homework, boys.
Chris?
No, we
Get
had the
that
eye
number 1.
emoji. That's right. Noli's
Two,
name
so
has
it's
it.
between
Oh,
Chris
shit. It's
and
between Chris and
Noli.
Noli. That's right.
At the 1 and the 2 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural season of the Sandlot Baseball Association Draft Lottery Order. With the number 2 overall
If
pick,
Noli gets the first
it
pick, he's taking
is
Bryce Harper.
Chris.
Oh, no, he's
At
taking Bryce
number
Harper at number
2.
1.
There's no way he's picking Bryce Harper number 1.
Which means that at number 1,
It's going to be Ohtani because Ohtani's hitting.
Sandlot Baseball Association, none
Will he be
other
the same?
than the commissioner of the East Coast Champions League. No,
Bryce had the same surgery. It took him a while, but at least Bryce was out for a couple months though. Is
I
Ohtani
believe-
even doing anything yet?
Yeah, he's hitting home runs at spring training like that.
Oh, okay.
It's-
Well then,
He's a freaking nature, bro. That's all he does. He's a perfect human.
Noli with the number
So
1 pick.
so that means Aaron Judge is going number 2.
I'll rehash the draft order in the comment section as
Probably.
we go through, because now this is the portion where I'll allow you to have the floor and be able to address your grievances, because I'll address a couple of mine. We'll discuss the winners, the losers, the fan reaction to the moves, because you all know in life, in football, in fantasy, in reality, you just can't make everybody happy. Somebody's always going to have something to say about something that happens. And the reactions have been a spectrum of every type of emotion imaginable to the last 72 hours. So now that we've got the draft order out of the way, it's time to dive into all of that mess. And I ask you again, where the hell do we even begin?
What Oscar start?
Go ahead, Oscar.
Y'all been tagging
Russell
me in all
Wilson.
these Russell Wilson posts. First off, the New York Giants interviewed him too. So Giants fans, get off my back.
He didn't like what we were spewing.
You didn't like it there?
Russ was like,
He probably
nah.
looked around. He was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
For
He's
the
like,
first
"Nah, I'm not
time, he
feeling this
cursed.
shit."
Russell Wilson cursed for the first time in 10 years when he got to New York. He was like, what the shit is this? I'm out.
So at $1.2 million, it's a no-lose situation.
You guys better send Denver a gift basket like Michael Scott.
Because
Where are the Turtles?
it's $1.2 million. He's cheaper than what Mason Rudolph was going to be. Rudolph signed a $4 million deal basically with the Titans.
Yeah, we got our veteran quarterback.
We're paying 1.5 for Russ. And who knows if Russ could be the next Kurt Warner. Remember, everybody said Kurt Warner was washed when he was with the Giants.
Shit, when he was in
Now, I'm
Arizona.
not saying that's going to happen.
He played
But
well
what
with
I
the
am
Giants.
saying is 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,500 yards. With the way my quarterbacks have played the last 2 years, I will sign up for that now.
Russell Wilson is an upgrade from Two Gloves.
At the end of the day,
I watched Two Gloves
we
live.
won 10 games last year with shit quarterback play.
Defense carries.
Russell Wilson could give us 2 more wins. That's a 12-win season.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's as efficient
So-
as he has been. So
And guess here's another thing.
10-7.
Russell Wilson also knows this is it.
right.
There's nothing after this. You might as well go home. You might as well go home and let Sierra make the money. So I don't mind it.
Well, there's a
Because if he works out, well then shit. We're going to be a playoff team and maybe who knows what can happen. Arthur Smith, I know what Arthur Smith wants to do.
No,
Run,
I
run,
know
run,
what you
play
guys are
action.
going to do because I lived it already. I already know what your offense is going to be. You're going to be run, play action. It's going to be basics, but if you nail the basics, you're going to manage to be a 10-7 football team, get yourself a wild card, and then you go from there. Like,
And Adam Shine's on freaking his Twitter account talking about you're still in the basement, Steeler fans. You can't beat Baltimore. Bitch, they've only beat us once in the last 4 years.
we don't know who's going to be in the basement there. It's unfair to say. We don't know. Like, it's
Any
it's a
one of those
toss-up,
teams
bro.
could be in last, and any one of those teams could be first.
And you can have 3 teams from that division make the playoffs.
Just like it did last
it's-
year.
you could have a good record and miss the playoffs. Like the AFC and everything is more.
I'm not against the move. I am not against the move at all. The Deontay Johnson trade, I'm not against it either. Dude had to go.
Yeah,
He drops too many balls.
That play he took off last
The play
year,
he took off where the fumble happened, he just stared at it.
yeah,
I was done with him after that.
set it in stone
I
right
was done with him after that.
there. I knew
I blame him for the way George Pickens has been acting. And that's what one of the people from Jerry Dulac said from Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. They realized he was starting to become a negative influence on Pickens. And so before they got into an AB situation, they said it's time for him to go.
Bengals at the
They
bottom
weren't
of the
going to
division,
offer him.
don't at me.
Ooh.
That's a spicy take. I mean,
I don't know how I can say that.
gotta wait and see what they do. Gotta wait and see.
It's
what they
really
do
hard
and
to
what
call
they look
any one
like.
of those.
I can
teams
see
a
the
bottom
Browns.
feeder.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can see the
hard.
Browns
You
in
can't-
back
you
where they
can't call
normally
nobody in
belong.
that division a bottom feeder.
Yeah, you can't tell right now because there's a mass load of talent.
Guaranteed, when that division is all said and done next year, the fourth place person will only be probably
And
2 games away from
congratulations,
first.
you know,
And-
in a great move by the Baltimore Ravens signing the King.
That was a great move.
It's a great move for them. They need him. They need him to be healthy. And it was a great move that we
Well, the
stole.
Falcons are winning the division.
You
so,
know,
yeah.
your guys brought in Henry, and we took Patrick Queen away from you, and everybody's trying to act like that Patrick Queen's a bum. The only reason he was good was because Roquan Smith was next to him. I can make the same thing that before Roquan Smith was next to Patrick Queen, he wasn't doing much either.
Right. Makes a difference.
I like the move. I like the ad. I think it's a good add to that defense.
I
What
still want to
Patrick
sign
Queen
Justin
brings to the
Simmons.
table. Justin Simmons is one of the big fish that is still out there for free agency. There's a lot of interest in him there's a lot of phone calls probably going down right now.
And we're most likely going to end up
If
signing
we still
Tyler
had,
Boyd.
if we still had wings,
I hope that
Simmons probably
that's
still
going to
be a
put some
Giant.
butts in the seats.
Tyler Boyd. Is that going to be your
That's going to be the
wide
next
receiver
guy's
too?
watch. I promise you that's
He's
what's
a free
happening
agent?
next. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys pay him. Since everybody's
Bro.
talking about who's overpaying who around here, I would
Bro.
love to see what
There's
Tyler.
no way
Boyd's gonna
Tyler
make.
Boyd's getting $100 million contract.
Yeah.
He's not.
I don't know, but he's going to get a pretty penny.
I mean,
he might get the Derek.
there's
Mooney
no
contract.
no reason why Darnell Mooney should be making
Blame-
$39 million.
Blame Christian Kirk. We all knew it. Blame Christian Kirk. It
This is
all
why I
goes back
say-
to him.
Draft your receivers. Cycle your receivers out. It's
you
going to
gotta be
be
good at it.
cheaper.
Yeah,
this
you gotta be
draft
good at
is
drafting.
loaded.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
Hey,
at it, man.
Just draft well.
I know. Listen,
draft
one
well.
thing my team does is linebackers and wide receivers.
This is true.
the occasional tight end.
This is true. We
So-
love linebackers, running backs. Historically, I mean, Earl Campbell, Derrick Henry, Chris Johnson, Eddie George. Like running back is not a position that.
Well,
I'm-
if their
I'm
turf is
very
going to be
worried
like
about.
the Jets, Giants, Bengals, or possibly at the bottom, that is true. They are getting the MetLife turf installed in Cincinnati.
Oof.
It's horrible.
Oof.
They literally need the fact that the NFL is changing their turf fields for grass for the soccer.
That
for
says
the
a
World
lot
Cup
of
is
things.
Disgusting, dude.
That's rough.
And they won't do it for their own teams. It's truly disgusting to me.
Jake
Truly
got
disgusting.
3 hot takes. Bengals at the bottom, Chiefs 3-peat, and the Falcons go into the playoffs.
Yeah. The Falcons,
Falcons
are
isn't
going
even
to
a hot take.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
gonna take
supposed
that
to be there
division.
last year. If they had
Wait,
Desmond
you know how
Ridder
he
could just
says,
make something
imagine
happen.
having the chance to sign a 26-year-old quarterback, only giving up 2 first-round picks and paying him $200 million, but instead you sign a $200 million contract to a guy that's 35 coming off an Achilles injury.
Cousins is about to make $100 million guaranteed coming off of an Achilles injury.
That's crazy.
Cha-ching, bro. Cha-ching. Mr. Moneybag strikes
After,
again.
if he plays this full contract out, he would have made over $400 million in his NFL career.
Hall of business.
Insane, bro.
One playoff win.
Probably the smartest
400
business
million.
NFL player I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my
Bro,
life.
all his chains are real.
I don't know,
He's
Sam
so, like,
All
Bradford-
his chains are rich.
all his chains
At
are
least he has
real,
production.
bro.
Sam Bradford made a shitload of money, and what did he ever do?
He kept getting paid.
I mean, Sam Bradford
It's all
made
about the
$60 million
business.
coming into the league, though.
It's not about
The Hall
winning.
of business.
It is a.
I
it's
forgot
the business.
Jake and his son are cousins cats. Remember that?
Bro.
I forgot about that.
Props to him, bro. Props to him. Props to Atlanta. We're a pro Atlanta Falcons team podcast, if you haven't noticed, because we all expected great things from them. He's got the investment with Bijan.
You're welcome, Atlanta.
I've
We
got
took
Kyle
Brian
Pitts.
Burns. You don't have to deal with Brian Burns from now on for 2 times a year.
There's not much for them to have to deal with besides the Buccaneers in that division until further notice, because
Right.
it's still a very, very winnable division. The Saints have been somewhat quiet because they have to unload a lot of to save up on cap. The Panthers
JJ's gone.
The Panthers are trying, and I like the DJ move for Carolina for Bryce because they literally threw Bryce to the Wolves and like they gave him nothing. Like we had a rough year, but at least Levis had a D-Hop to work off of. Like Bryce Young had nothing out there. Old ass Adam Thielen, who still managed to be like a top 20, top 15 wide receiver last year. Not sure how. It was just the type of season that it was. But the fact that you give him a wide receiver like DJ and they're slowly starting to show like here, like now here's some toys that you can use so that we can actually see what you can do because it's unfair to judge Bryce Young off of what we saw.
One of the Steelers beat
Carolina
writers said, bold prediction, Rudolph will be starting games by November and it won't be because of injury.
Or for the Titans?
Yeah.
And one of those things where like with Russ, like the shot in the arm, new place, new environment.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was reading.
I
Like,
think
another
Rudolph should
opportunity
start the year.
over Levis. So you're basically saying he's not the guy.
Yeah, I don't think Levis.
Yeah.
Is the guy.
That's what we are going to determine this season because all the things that are happening right now with Mr. C and Callahan are
I
geared
wish
towards
nothing but the
giving
best
him
for him.
all the weapons that he needs. So at this
Mark
point,
it down that today
it's
on March
on him
13th,
to execute.
Jay Fizzle's officially off the Vikings hype train. He has been on that train for a while.
Yeah.
Well, that hype train blew up a while ago, so it's good that you jumped
So does
on.
that mean if you have the
Giants blew it up.
opportunity in the On the Money Sports Fantasy Draft this coming September that you will pass on Justin Jefferson if he's on the board?
Now JJ
Woo!
be catching passes
That's
from
big.
Darnold.
That'll be big.
I can't even like a fantasy mock draft right now. I
I'm
can't
not
even wrap
taking.
my head
Yeah,
around
I mean,
that.
yeah, you're right.
It's
I
like-
can't wrap my head around
so
a fantasy mock right now.
crazy.
And how about this?
But
I
I'd pass
take
on JJ.
this is my
if
hot
I had
take.
to take him.
I put it in my notes. The Chicago Bears overvalue Justin Fields and now are paying the price to the point where a team might be able to get Fields, in my eyes now, for maybe a 4th or a 5th round pick.
For the
Possible.
I think they valued him at a high 1st round and maybe another 5th rounder. And teams looked at him like, nah, bro, we're not doing that.
They screwed up.
It said that
along the
every
way.
team that was interested in him still viewed him as a backup.
They screwed up somewhere along the
crazy.
way, bro. Because every team that reached out realized I'm bidding against myself.
Uh-huh.
Why even? Like, why bother? Like,
They
there's
said
nobody-
that the Steelers were involved, no matter what people tell you. They were involved, but when they realized the compensation they were asking for, they were starting to realize, like, wait a minute, this. And then Rusby got cut, so they said, you know what, we'll just pivot and we don't have to give them nothing.
Yeah, thankfully nobody bit on the Fields thing because really Chicago, it's kind of like you said.
You never really bid on the Fields, man.
No, I don't think he's like a really good quarterback. Honestly, in my opinion, like I don't think he'll
It was
ever be
me and
elite.
Elon that were charging
I
that
don't.
band.
He
my dynasty quarterback, dog.
I think there's years and he might be able to crack the top 15 from like here and there, but I don't think he's a top 15 legit quarterback in my eyes. Now, with that being said, he can get the job done. He's not a guy who can't play football. He's just not a good
The
quarterback.
Vikings are not going to get Justin Fields because the Bears aren't going to trade him in division.
No, yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't see it. I think the Raiders are going to end up doing it, even
No, I
with
don't-
Gardner
Yeah,
Minshew.
I don't see them. I don't
Draft
see
night
them.
trade. Is Justin Fields going to be a draft night trade candidate?
I
That's
think
what, that's
so.
what we have to look
So
out for now.
supposedly the Raiders were in on it. They signed Minshew, so it kind of takes them out. So
It was the
Atlanta
Steelers,
was in on it,
Atlanta,
but-
the Raiders, and there's another team I can't remember at the moment.
yeah, Atlanta, the Steelers.
Maybe Washington.
there was
Either
another
way,
team, but yeah, no.
The Bears are now put in a corner where, what are they going to do?
They're put in the corner because of the number one pick. So
Mhm.
now teams are like, well, instead of me throwing a 1 or 2 at you or 2 and 3, let me see what you're gonna do with this pick.
Ooh, look at Jake. I wouldn't draft JJ until late second
Or third at
or
this
third
point.
at this point.
Mid to late second. I would do that. Mid to
They'll
late
throw him the
second.
ball.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
crazy.
crazy.
It's true though.
That
Like,
we're
what
looking
the hell
at-
is he gonna? What is he gonna do with Sam Darnold?
Jamar Chase becomes wide receiver 1 on the boards by default until this situation gets situated. Even then, like what quarterback are they going to get that's better than Joe Burrow? It's not out there. It doesn't exist.
Jake Browning. I know he's a free agent.
Is he?
Yeah.
Browning is someone that makes me a little bit more excited about Brian Callahan because if you could get that much out of a Jake Browning, then I'm excited to see what you can do as far as like your vision for what this offense is going to look
Joe
like.
Flacco.
potentially.
Flacco just signed with the
The
Commanders.
Colts. Indianapolis.
Oh, no, the
Colts, yeah.
Colts. The Colts.
He signed with Indy 1 year, $6 million, between $6 to $8 million, if I'm not mistaken. So Indy has their backup. Of course, we know that Anthony Richardson can be a bit
Travel?
reckless. So with Anthony Richardson and some of the injury history that he's already been dealing with, hopefully he doesn't get hurt anymore. But, having Joe Flacco there, having that reliable veteran kind of ensures that if anything goes wrong, we have somebody that can at least run the offense. But I don't really know. I with them, I feel like with us and with Houston, I like most of the stuff that we've done. I love what the Houston Texans have done. I hate the Texans, but I actually love what they've done. I think that they are still the favorites to win the South. And then when it comes to the Jags and the Colts, it's kind of like, okay, what's your next move?
I feel like the Jags and the Colts.
Pittman.
Yeah, the Jags and the Colts are more responding to what you guys are doing, as to where Houston and the Titans are they're making moves. They're going after. They're kind of nitpicking, but they're going after the guys that they want. Especially from DeMeco Ryans and the Houston Texans point of view. Those guys that they got aren't household names, but those are guys that I know are going to buy into DeMeco. I know he's been probably keeping a close eye on these guys. And
they got DeMeco Archery, bro. They got DeMeco Archery.
That's going to be big.
In a way, it feels kind of like us taking Ridley from Jacksonville only to lose DeMeco Archery to the Texans, who already have Tierre Tart. And it's
that was big.
Shit, man. That front line is one of those things where, as far as being reactive goes, we know that whether it's the draft, whether it's the remainder of free agency, we need to shore up our offensive line, because we already know the Texans are bringing the pressure when it comes to that front and how they're going to be able to use that to their advantage as far as our head-to-head matchups.
Yep.
It's like when you're in an active division, it forces you to be be active because you see what's happening around you.
You really have to be.
You've got to make
Which
the
is
moves.
stunning why Dallas really hasn't done any moves.
Yeah.
Nolly likes to use the saying, when you draft well, you don't need to sign people, but I don't really believe in that. Man.
You can do both.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can, especially when you have the kind of money that Dallas has. You definitely can do both.
I mean, when you know that you have certain things that you need to like how I was telling
1
you
minute
guys.
ago, Adam Schefter reported that Wilson's officially been released. He is now able to sign his deal with Pittsburgh. It is a post-June 1st designation, so they will not get the relief immediately. They're going to spread the cap hit in 2 seasons, $53 million this year and $32 million next year.
Sheesh, 85 big ones. God.
You want to talk about overpaying? Imagine paying for a guy that's not even there. And still paying.
Hey man, the Nets paid KD to not play.
All because Sean Payton had a complex with you. And now Denver, what are you gonna do? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what Denver's.
What are you doing?
You see when B put in the group chat, B was like, I'm looking
he's
for another
ready
team.
He's ready to jump ship because
I'm just refreshing my feed.
You're about to lose Justin Simmons.
Trying to see if we got any news.
Cushenberry is now our center, which is one of my favorite things that we did.
That was a good move
for an offensive line that was as bad as us. And talk about an upgrade from Brewer and how terrible he was last season. So now you don't have your center. You're losing all your defensive pieces left and right. You got Javonte Williams, but you don't even have a quarterback to give him the ball. Same for your wide receivers. You lost Jerry Jeudy. Denver, what the hell happened?
What did they trade Jeudy for? What did they get back for?
Peanuts.
2 6s or some shit.
They traded him for a beer, dog. They got nothing in return for Jeudy. They got nothing. They got nothing to show for nothing. And when you think about how financially strapped they are, it's you have to play the draft.
I'll be right back, gentlemen, because something don't seem right up there. That boy's getting into trouble.
You
I
have
keep
to
hearing him going on the counter.
You have to play the draft and hope that these quarterbacks aren't busts if you're Denver, right? What's the thought process? You can't go out and sign anybody. You ain't got no money.
You got no money. You got to hit on these draft picks, really. That's their thought process, hitting on these draft picks, because if they don't, they are in a world of trouble. They are in a true world of trouble. That's why I got mad when Alexi was like, and for the 2025, the Giants pick for the first selection. I'm like, bro, are you really calling us the worst team in the league right now, bro? Are you really doing that? And that was before the Brian Burns trade. He was doing that. And I didn't even at that moment, I didn't feel like we were the worst team in the league. Losing Barkley to the hated Philadelphia Eagles. You motherfuckers. You know what?
I am thankful to be a Chiefs fan in a division with teams that constantly fuck up every year. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Denver is just doing.
I mean, we all kind of go through it.
After
After Patrick Mahomes leaves, there'll probably be a low unless you guys go the Green Bay route. You know what I mean? But back to Barkley.
You ready? That's crazy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I don't think it's the best running back move that was made in free agency. I think it was a good one. It's kind of like it falls along those lines of strengthen yourself and weaken your opponent. Hashtag art of war. But Saquon Barkley, now a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. What's the trajectory right now for both football teams? I guess because we're kind of mixing everything up into one big.
Before I go on a tangent here, I want to talk
Did I miss the Barkley?
It's about to start right now. It's about to happen right now.
I'm actually I'm gonna talk to Mr. Saquon Barkley directly first.
Oh, he's talking to Barkley now.
Barkley, it wasn't your fault we drafted you at 2. You can't control injuries, unfortunately, in the NFL.
But that wasn't the right move, dog.
Personally, man, I really want to thank you for the years you put in.
We can't get Marvin Harrison. We're trading back. I've already heard that one.
Honestly, as an organization, we failed you and Daniel Jones, and we didn't put the right pieces in place to let you be you. I really do think you're an extremely well-talented running back. I really do think you're that. But you'll never be the best running back in the Giants history. That's something you'll never have. Why?
Because he joined the Eagles?
History? No, because he didn't break any of Tiki Barber's records. Tiki Barber is the best
Tiki
Giants
Barber has no business talking about a guy quitting on a team, bro.
What do you mean? Why?
Why? Who quit?
He retired.
He quit.
He retired. Leave the guy alone.
He quit.
That was taken out of context.
Bro, that was karma, dog.
Relax.
That was the football gods coming down on him saying, "Look what could have been yours."
Doesn't matter. I got to see my Giants win a ring without Tiki Barber, and shit happens.
Giants fans,
he's an op now. Rob said,
"We're not talking about Tiki Barber. We're talking about Saquon Barkley." Okay.
I love.
There you go, Heather.
Fans' reactions. I absolutely love hearing Giants fans' reactions because it's never the same reaction to the same topic.
It's insane, honestly. I honestly feel like I'm the only sane Giants fan on the face of the planet.
You probably all feel that way.
I mean, I'm sure they do, but trust me, when Giants fans, even my brother and my father, bro, when they say certain things, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? That shit makes no sense for a team.
Your brother Loki likes the Drew Lock move. How do you feel about it?
It doesn't make sense to me. Drew Lock,
Chris.
So Chris mentioned something
Chris,
about
you're right.
$5 million.
Rondé was the better barber.
Relax. I mean, yeah, he was. But still, that's not here nor there.
Saquon is an op.
Chris was mad that we gave $5 million to Drew Lock. Dude, that's the going rate for a half-decent backup quarterback. Good backup quarterback to get $10 million.
We gave Mason Ford.
Yeah, there you go.
Is he going to be vibing on the sideline?
Mason Rudolph?
Drew Lock?
No, don't talk about
Drew
Lock.
Yeah, I mean, that kid's full of energy. He got energy, man.
The chances are that he's going to see the field a lot more than what you think.
I mean, he beat Philly last year.
It depends what happens in the draft and everything like that.
And I think that's only because Daniel Jones' health. The Giants have big concerns. The Giants are over for everything I've been reading.
They're done with Danny?
That's the speculation, man. I don't agree with it, but that's the speculation. Now, do I think Daniel Jones is out of here at the end of the year? Hell yeah.
Is he on a short leash is what we're talking about here?
Why wouldn't he be?
Do you think it's like week 6, you're 2 and 3, he gets benched?
They should have franchise tagged Daniel Jones.
If he drafts a young quarterback, by week 6 he's getting benched. But if by week 6 we're 2 and 3 and your backup quarterback is Drew Lock, I don't see how that makes a difference. You're paying the guy $40 million to play the year out if you don't have a young quarterback.
You guys should have re-signed Tyrod Taylor.
Him, Drew Lock.
Barkley should have got the contract.
Better option than Mason Rudolph.
We'll find out this year, honestly.
Tyrod Taylor's not even
Tyrod Taylor played 2 games and got hurt. Tyrod Taylor played 2 games for us and got hurt. And Tommy
Rudolph
came in and won 3 games.
And I used to be the biggest critic of his. He played phenomenal in the last month of the season.
He played great.
I don't blame him for the playoff loss.
He played great.
I know that interception hurt us.
Listen, man,
but when he left the field with a 1-score game, and then they allowed Buffalo to go back down the field.
The Bills wanted to blow that game so bad. It's just you guys didn't have the firepower.
If T.J. Watt played, we would have won that game.
I got completely sidetracked. I just wanted to tell Barkley thank you. Thank you.
We're from Barkley's an op to thank you, Barkley.
Yeah. Listen, I just wanted to tell him thank you, right? Now,
What
That
is it? The
being
6
said-
stages of denial or whatever?
No,
Or three?
man. Listen. I wanted to say that coming in today, and then before I walk into this house,
Tyrod lives on the IR.
he does. I wanted to say that coming into coming into the house, and then before I walk in, I get the news about Howie talking to Barkley with when he wasn't supposed to be, and that shit really just.
I'm glad I broke that news.
It
so I can get
just
your reaction.
grinds my gears to the core, bro.
You having secret?
I knew Barkley had to go. I knew we weren't going to sign him, and I had to already cope with that. I don't understand.
Yo, these are really good.
I mean, I don't want to say I don't understand. As a running back, not that I'm speaking personally, but as a running back, you got to get as much bread as you can in this day and age because they are not
Great
paying
deal
running
for
backs.
him.
So that deal, the contract he
It's
got from
weird
Philly
though. I thought
helps
Swift
him and his
played just as
family
good.
tremendously.
I'm surprised they didn't keep Swift. It would have been cheaper.
I mean, when you look at Swift, Devin Singletary, and Barkley's stats, they were all pretty much identical.
Singletary
They
played
were all
well
pretty
last
much
year.
identical.
Singletary he took Damian Pierce's job last year.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, he pretty much did.
yes, you did.
We
pretty
were
much did.
expecting Damian Pierce to be that
Did the
guy.
Texans sign a running back?
But
Joe Mixon, which I think is a great.
I don't
deal
know if
for
you guys heard
both
it, but
sides.
Tiki Barber on the fan said as soon as the news broke, "You're dead to us. You're dead to us, Barkley, as Giants fans." And you are.
Sam's the guy who quit.
I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I thanked you, but now this is the other part of it. Okay, I don't want anything to do with a Saquon Barkley anymore. If I see one of your jerseys or shirts in a store, I'm burning it on site. I bought my dad your jersey 2 years ago. I told he's coming up on Friday.
This is
Okay,
this
I
is
told him to bring your
your
jersey.
dad's coming to
Yeah,
town?
he is. He's
That's
driving,
great.
Yep. So he'll be here Friday. He's bringing your jersey, and I'm gonna burn that shit.
Yo,
live
but why
on
didn't
Facebook.
y'all think it was possible he could go to Philly? He's from the area.
No, it's not that I didn't think it was possible. I just didn't want it.
This is the Michael Scott.
didn't
apology
Wouldn't you
letter
rather
all
have him
over
on Eagles
again.
in Philly? I mean, Eagles in Dallas.
I mean, he hates
No.
the both the same. He hates the Eagles. more.
Literally,
I think
he
hates the
literally
Eagles
could
more.
have went to Dallas or Washington, and I'd have pat him on the ass and said, "Good luck, bro. I'm cheering for you." He went to Philly, bro, and I hate the Philadelphia Eagles to the core. And like there's a
I
burning
hope
hole in
nobody
my
bet
heart.
Jamal Murray threes today.
Why he ain't hitting shit?
It's been abysmal.
I know
That's
you.
horrible.
I just need him to hit like two
But
You
more.
did.
I can't.
You did, didn't
No,
you?
I didn't place any bets.
Oh.
Today. No, I didn't bet today. After that, Sabonis pissed me off last night.
Oh yeah, didn't one of y'all bet triple double?
I did.
For Sabonis.
I did
yeah.
it straight up, and I bet his
I bet
PRA.
his PRA. This
You
motherfucker
missed it
had
by a couple
43.
assists, right?
I
Two
needed
assists.
44 and a half. He had
Missed it by 2
43,
assists. That bastard.
He screwed everyone.
But the
yesterday.
fact that he went to Philly, man, it that burns. It burns. It bothers.
Yeah.
It does a lot of things to me mentally. Again,
Negative
man.
mental thing.
Yeah, negative mental things, bro.
To be clear.
Again, dude, get your money. He changed him and his family's life forever. Like his
Before
kids'
you
kids
Giants
will be
fans
fine,
burn
man.
your
Like,
Barkley jerseys, let's do it together.
I'm down to meet guys. Go meet me on the corner of Second and Grape and Violent. We'll burn
Listen.
Barkley jerseys to the night.
Let On the Money Sports be on site so we can record the funeral of the jersey.
Yeah, listen, I am down. For
Let's do it. The funeral jersey special edition.
It has to
And we'll
happen,
interview,
man.
me and you'll interview each Giants fan. Like, please say your piece.
I'm listening to the fans. Salicata's like, why does it matter that he went to Philly? It doesn't matter. Do you think the Giants are better today now that we don't have Barkley? That's not the point, Sal. That's not the point. He went
Who's
to
that?
Philly. Salicata is one of the midday guys on the WFAN.
I could tell. I don't listen to that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't listen to the midday anymore because those guys are driving.
That would
Listening to
probably be my
Salicata
time
drives
slot.
me insane, bro. It
That would
drives me
probably be my time slot once it gets to the point where we're doing radio because you're literally just triggering people while they're already at work.
insane.
I
Yo,
would
and
love
that's how
to
it be, bro.
have
I'll be in
that
my
slot.
zone working. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this guy talking
Give
about?
me a
right
1
now,
p.m.
bro?
show and just see how many people I can incite rage in while they're at work.
Yo, it's insane. It's
That's
insane
a
the
good
people
show
I
to
get
have.
call up.
I mean,
But,
the morning is like the be all end all. But I would love the 1 o'clock slot, like
Monday
the
quarterback
1 to
conversation.
4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right before all the games of the night are going on.
Way
you got
New York
the-
does
maybe
it. They
1
got-
to
they
4.
do-
We'll have so much
New
fun.
York does 6 to 10, 10 to 2, and 2 to 6.
Not only will we talk sports, we'll also have like so much other side con. Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything, bro.
Yeah,
Everything
it would
across
be
the
dope.
board.
It would be dope.
So
But yeah, Q Barkley.
the thank you Barkley turned into the FU Barkley. He's
Yeah,
now an
real
op.
quick.
This
real
is
quick.
Michael Scott apology letter 2.0.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I hope I hope bad things happen over there in Philly for all of them. For I hope his season goes down the drain.
Bro, that's not good karma.
I hope he rushes for 800 yards. I'm not asking for him to get hurt. I just hope he gets stuffed every time they hand him the rock. That's it. I hope when we see him that Brian Burns demolishes him for a 5-yard loss. Now, with that being said, what the Giants have done since losing Barkley has been kind of impressive, man. I've seen Chris complain about the Jalen Mills signing, and he was like, we just went from chicken salad to chicken shit at the safety position. Dude, we can't have chicken salad at every position. Okay, we turned Leonard Williams into Brian Burns today. Okay, that is a big move. Signing Drew Lock for $5 million, it doesn't tickle my fancy, but at the same time, we do need a backup quarterback. We don't know what to expect from Tommy Cutlets. Not only that, we don't even know if we're going to keep him because we don't know what we're going to do in the draft now. What happens in this draft? Before I'm on my way home and I hear that the Giants are actually looking to move up in the top 3 in the draft.
For quarterback?
I don't know.
You draft right before us. So
I don't know.
You better trade with the right team because it can't be a team that's going to screw us over.
So look at the teams in the top 3, right? You have the Bears at 1, you have New England at 2, and Washington at 3. New England and Washington need quarterbacks. This doesn't make sense for them to trade back unless one of them is sold on J.J. McCarthy and they feel like they can get him at 6.
Patriots would trade back. Washington's going to be aggressive.
I don't see them. I don't see them trading with the Giants. To trade with a team within the division, knowing that both teams might want and need that quarterback. Now, me personally, I don't think any of these quarterbacks are it this year. So
a lot of us
moving up for a quarterback is that if they draft the quarterback, dude, I'm gonna lose.
And guess what? Every quarterback that gets drafted that high is getting thrown to the wolves. On top of the fact that we don't totally believe in you.
But that's the thing, though, because even if we do draft the quarterback, you're still paying Daniel Jones $40 million. So are you gonna throw that kid to the wolves? You can't. Why would you throw a kid like that to the wolves when you have somebody making $40 million? Watch the kid.
Chris
do
said
what
it's
he does.
possible the Pats trade their pick with the Bengals for Higgins.
Well, they missed out on Calvin Ridley because
see, that doesn't make sense neither, though.
Ridley didn't want to go to New England. He didn't want to stay in Jacksonville.
Do any of y'all think he could be wide receiver 1?
Who, Higgins? Yeah, I think he has the potential.
Yeah, he can be.
Last year was an anomaly. I think everything. Burrow got hurt. He was hurt. Chase missed a few games. Like last year,
I learned not to use.
I
learned not to use players' injuries against them, especially coming off that year after their injury. Because sometimes it just doesn't always look the same.
And last year was a contract year for Higgins, so you think he really wanted to be hurt? And last year was his year.
It was a bad spot.
We always see guys go out in their contract year and have crazy years.
So. The injury hurt him from how much he could have potentially ended up making.
Mike Williams did that, got paid and got hurt again.
Yeah, he had a healthy season, got paid, and then kept getting hurt. Same what Daniel Jones did, though.
When Mike Williams is on the field, bro.
Oof. Are we at the point where we think T. Higgins is still?
You think the Giants will take a flyer on him?
Like he got requested.
On Higgins?
Mike Williams.
It depends how much he's asking for.
I could see you guys going after.
We can't go after.
Alex said y'all signed Isaiah McKenzie. I was like, oh wow, another slot receiver.
I was not hype about that at all. I guess he's just a depth piece because Wando Robinson and Jalen Hyatt are better.
Use the money to buy some tissues, boys.
Giants love slot receivers, and
get it.
One of the first things that Alexi said earlier when the Ridley deal went down was like, "Oh, overpaid." But it's like, dog, right now you guys don't even have a primary receiving option, so it's like you gotta pay to play the game.
He already said that if Darren Waller doesn't play good this year, get rid of him.
I don't think Darren Waller's even playing.
No, I don't even know. Is he playing?
He doesn't know if he wants to play.
Is he done?
He can get out of here, dude.
Last time he was doing a music video, I thought it was like at the Camden waterfront or something.
It looked like it, right?
Sweater. Yeah,
he looked like he was staring at 55.
Hey, where are you, dog? I thought you were hurt. You've been on IR and you're just rapping, dude. Like
that shit retarded, dude. That really pissed
me
off.
So you can't. He's not the primary option at receiver for the G-men. Now, for the Giants, I think going wide receiver in the draft was like logical in my mind because like they don't have
my super hot take for hearing the Giants go trying to mess around with this top 3. And the only thing that kind of makes sense to me right now is trading Daniel Jones, the 6th pick in next year's 1, to Chicago for Justin Fields and their number 1 pick for this year and drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. with that pick. Honestly, that's the only thing that makes sense.
That's crazy.
It is. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. That's the first time I said it out loud because I've texted it a couple of times today, but saying it out loud sounds really crazy. But that's the only thing that makes sense to me, man. If that's what they're really looking at, that's the only
Is this
thing that
your
makes
deal?
sense.
That's the mock trade.
Or is this something you've heard?
That's
That's a mock trade that I'm predicting in a sense.
That's something that he.
I just heard them talking about trying to get into the top 3.
Is this the trade that you're trying to work on your Madden right now?
No. No, I wouldn't even do it in Madden.
He sat and thought about this in the midst of the whole chaos with Barkley and everything, saying to himself, "How the fuck are we gonna fix this?"
That's the only thing that makes sense, man. Now, and it makes sense to me as a Giants fan. It actually doesn't make sense for Chicago because the whole point of them wanting to ship off Justin Fields because they're probably going to draft a quarterback, and that keeps things cheap for them. Because if they keep Justin Fields, then they got to pay him. They got to essentially extend him and sign him. And that's something that they're on the fence to doing.
To draft Caleb Williams, though, just keep Justin Fields. Oh, you guys made all this fuss over Justin Fields.
Did
The
Daniel
thing
Jones
is
get
that they
his?
don't want to pony up.
Yo, did Daniel
That's
Jones
what
get
it
his
is. They
5th
don't
year
wanna pony
option
up.
exercised?
Who?
Or you guys gave him a contract?
That right there, what you just said was the beginning of the demise, and that right there is the reason why we don't have Saquon
That
Barkley.
what you just said is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
That's
They
right. Sorry,
didn't give
really.
him his 5th year option.
No, they passed on it, which is why we had to sign him, which is why we couldn't sign Barkley.
I would have just tagged him.
At the
dog.
time
Hey, wait.
when they passed on it. Did you know?
The tag, though, even though tagging him would have made it easier to sign Saquon,
That's what I
even
would've
the
done.
tag was $12 million more than the option.
They should have given him the transition tag. Nobody was going to give 2 number 1s for him.
The whole point of them not wanting the tag was that they didn't want to eat that money. If you didn't want to eat $35 million, then you should have ate 22 because that's what the option was. He would have got hurt on the option, and we could have just let him go this year with no problem, with nothing. Just go.
You know, Rob,
And
you're not
draft
the
it. We
only
could've
one
just
that's
drafted
heard
the quarterback
that.
if that's what they really wanted to do. Again, I'm still not sold on these quarterbacks, but it would have been so much
It would have
easier.
been the option of being able to
Everything
do
would have
that.
been so much.
But
Bro,
they
I wouldn't
brought
even
it
be
on the
sitting here
option.
having this conversation right now if they pick up the option. Literally, that's all they had to do was pick up the option. You pick up the option. You sign Saquon to probably
Yo,
a $12
Malik
million
Monk-
deal that year.
Unrelated, on NBA wise, Malik Monk has been on fire.
Oh, I got him in my fantasy league.
Yeah, he's
Going off.
Bro. He's a shooter.
Going off.
He's a shooter. He should have
Him
a
and
good
Hart
day.
are crazy pickups for me because they've been going off.
Josh Hart is a dog too. I
Dude.
was still talking about it in the group chat. I was like, "Yo, is he a star?"
I've lost 4 starters on
Yeah,
my
like 20
fantasy
points
team,
and
and I'm
18
still
rebounds.
whooping
I was like,
ass.
How's this happening?
I'm still whooping ass. I lost 4 guys: Sangam, LaMelo Ball, Scotty Barnes, Sadiq Bey.
Supreme Baller Society, baby. It's all
Yeah,
happening.
I'm in
right
4th
now.
place.
It's
Don't
all
ask me how,
happening.
guys. My guys have been balling, though. My
Next-
guys have been balling.
Next time we come on the pod, it's actually going to be in the midst of the playoffs, but we'll be sure to post a picture of the playoff picture for Supreme Baller Society in the forum before the playoffs actually start. You see the March Madness bracket. That's going to be our March Madness for Supreme Baller Society. Rose, if you're watching right now, shout out to you because it's looking like you're holding on to that last spot to get in because it's the illustrious 8th spot, the wild card. You'll be facing off with Terrell. I still have no idea who I'm playing, but yeah, it's good stuff. RBs are down a dozen. We fall in love with them because of the position, but you can't
That's
get
Raj.
them anywhere in the draft.
Rose.
This is a matter of getting someone to fit your team scheme. Yeah, the running backs in this draft have all dropped. So you're getting a discount because you don't know what you're actually getting as far as the running backs because we're talking about 3rd-round picks and stuff like that. So someone's going to look like a genius because they're going to hit on one of those running backs, but it's
Right.
just a very messed up time to be a running back heading into the league based on the fact that we've never seen so many free agent running backs, so many teams that went and got their guy already. So you're not looking at that position as a position of need compared to your left tackles, your guards, your wide receivers, your quarterbacks. Like these teams and us as fans know these quarterbacks may not be it. These teams know it too, and they're still going to trade up to go grab one because that's the level of desperation that some teams are in right
Well,
now.
that's the risk you take. You know what I mean? Like, Chicago's in such a crazy position right now because if you take Caleb Williams and he ends up being a bust and Justin Fields goes elsewhere and plays great, you're like, fuck, I should have kept him, right? If you keep Justin Fields and he just keeps playing the way he's playing and Caleb Williams gets drafted to New England and they have the new Tom Brady, then they're like, fuck, we should have drafted Caleb Williams.
Eventually, when are they
So
going to
it's
realize
damned if
that?
you do, damned if you don't.
When are they going to realize that maybe Eberflus is the issue in Chicago?
I
right?
think that is the issue.
How long
Really,
before they
it's
realize
supposed to.
maybe the GM doesn't know how to try to draft?
Yeah, I think that I can't believe that guy still got a job.
Maybe that's why the Chicago's going out and paying all these people because they can't hit on draft picks themselves. Like, When are we gonna like start? That's the problem with some of these organizations. It's
That
like
GM has been GMing. I'll give him his props, but that coach is not it.
this was their opportunity. This was their window. The fleecing of the Panthers, and you still don't even know who your quarterback is? How do you not know? How do you not know? After what you did to Carolina, look at what Carolina looked like last year.
Yeah, your team should be set for the
You
next
should be
10 to
set for
15
6
years.
Yeah,
You're right.
bro. Imagine giving Pete Carroll those types of picks that they
Oh,
gave
my
Chicago.
God.
What Pete Carroll would have done with those picks right now.
I couldn't. I
Dog,
can't
they'd
even
have
imagine,
their
bro.
quarterback. They'd have Geno Smith still. He'd have an entire revamped defense the way he likes it. A top 6-7 pick coming up right now with the roster and a team that's super competitive and can make the playoffs.
Your brother said Giants need to play it cool and draft Joe Alt and get some foundation in the trenches, which they accomplished on defense. Now let's close it on offense.
I mean, I agree 100% with that. The smartest and simplest and safest thing to do is to draft Joe Alt at the 6th spot. Stay where you're at and draft Joe Alt.
I've seen this Joe Alt character as a name coming up in a lot of mocks for the Titans. So they're saying, apparently, in their eyes, that might be a Titan pick, which offensive line, especially after today, makes a lot more sense since we went out and paid a wide receiver.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe we don't go and get Malik Neighbors, which kind of sucks. But
If we stay at 6 and don't get Alt, dude, I'm going to be sick.
if you get a receiver,
No, because I know that at that point I'm looking at either Neighbors or the kid from Washington at 6.
Roma
Odunze?
Dunze.
Yeah,
Odunze?
Odunze, yeah.
because Marvin Harrison will be gone.
Right. So I won't be that sick as long as it's one of those guys.
Yo, Odunze.
But it's really got to be Alt's like the no-brainer pick for me at 6.
I think Odunze is going to be a beast.
I think so too, but I think Neighbors will be better.
Do you think Odunze is like top 10 pick
Oh, yeah.
or does he
Absolutely.
fall to, like,
He's going
Neighbors had more yards.
Odunze is
than
going in the
Odunze.
top 10.
Or no, Neighbors had more
The
yards. than
only way
Harrison
he
Jr.
doesn't go in the
this
top 10 is if all the quarterbacks get picked.
year. Right.
And people are getting desperate. Like now you hear people talking about JJ McCarthy going in the top 10.
He should
What?
not go in the top
Dog, these teams know these guys are potentially bust
Like,
and still need a guy.
Bo Nix.
Like,
I'm not sold on Bo Nix. I'm
10.
not
Dude,
sold on Michael
any
Penix.
of them, bro.
You know
None
who
of them.
I would take on a flyer if I was the Steelers in like the 4th round with one of those 4th round picks? Travis, I think it's Travis Taylor from that broke his leg for Florida State.
Oh yeah.
I take a chance on him.
Sam Darnold is going to be starting week 1 for the Vikings. Like, that's the quarterback situation right now for some teams. That's what's happening.
I am not Justin Jefferson.
Where you're sitting in your office getting paid a heavy amount to make these types of decisions and saying to yourself, yeah, Darnold is the answer.
You imagine Jefferson having a crazy fantasy year? With
I'd
Darnold
take
as
Drake
QB?
London in the 2nd round before maybe taking Jetta with that quarterback situation.
Ooh, that is spicy.
Or look what happened with Baker.
But it's the truth. How can you tie yourself to Jefferson with Sam Darnold, dog?
Dude,
Yeah, no.
Look what happened
That's
last year.
tough.
Last year with Baker Mayfield. The year before that with Geno Smith. What if Sam Darnold becomes that next veteran guy that has that type of a year? Joe Flacco for a
But
little
Baker
year.
Mayfield's shown
It's
before.
possible, man. I'm not
Here's
saying
the
it's not
thing with
possible.
Baker. Baker's shown in his rookie season, not his sophomore, but his 3rd year in, he showed flashes of good play.
Geno was rough at
It's
first.
just the Cleveland Browns are a disorganized shit show.
Yeah,
It-
but
it-
Sam Darnold started with the Jets.
And
though.
then he went to, the Panthers were terrible.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Wilson played somewhere else and played actually better. The Jets just
Yeah,
don't know how
but
to deal with quarterbacks. Bro.
At the same time, though, like I get the Panthers
Yeah,
are
Sam Darnold.
Baker on
is
the
as
Panthers was a
toxic
shit
as-
show. But when you go back and look at it, well, the Panthers are a shit show.
Yeah.
He was decent with the Rams when he took over. When Stafford went down, he had flashes of good play. Then he went over to Tampa, where he has talented people around him, and look what he did.
Darnold and Mayfield got brought into some toxic ass situations, whether it's the Browns or the Jets. I feel like if Mayfield would have gotten drafted like 2 years ago to the Browns roster the way it is now, like the Browns would be a good team and he would have his head on straight.
Look at
a
the
little bit more
Browns.
because of
They
he wouldn't have had to
jettison
deal
Baker
with.
off. They bring in Watson, and it's been a shit show.
they made such a terrible
They
trade.
they went to the playoffs not even because of that guy. They went to the
Yeah.
playoffs because a guy coming off the bench at his couch.
They made such a terrible trade for Deshaun Watson that the league said we are never going to allow any team to ever do this again.
And that's
Like,
why Lamar Jackson got screwed.
They put a cap. It's like putting a 10 trade cap limit on your fantasy league. That's what the NFL had to step in and do because of the fleecing that went down in that Deshaun
The
Watson
Bengals
deal.
did call the Vikings in lieu of Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings counter
That was a
offer
wild phone
was
conversation.
give us Joe Burrow and we'll give you Justin Jefferson.
I think the
So
league needs to
basically,
reset.
hell no, we're not
And-
giving you. And even if he goes there, he's a 1-year rental because you can't afford to pay both him and Chase.
Vikings got to be smarter than that, though. Like when you're on the phone with a
Well, that
team,
was
like
basically-
the Bengals that have Higgins.
Basically, we're not trading him, so they gave him a smart ass answer. That's what they basically did.
and you completely.
It's like
cut
when an
yourself
employee
off from
comes
any
up
good
to
deal
me at
from
work
that
and
point.
says, "Hey, you think I could go home early?" Yeah, sure.
Like,
They already know what I mean. Fuck no, you're not going nowhere.
bro, the Vikings are like Denver, except with a Justin Jefferson, where it's like I'm looking at them and I'm
Hollywood, the
thinking to myself, like, what are you
KC
guys
may be
doing?
announced tonight. Just friended half the training staff on IG. That's always a preliminary.
Yeah, the social media.
Yeah, the
Once that
innuendos
goes
when
down.
they start dropping.
It's crazy how that works now. When you start seeing the unfollowing and the followings, and then next day the news breaks of a major signing that goes down. Like, speaking of signings, are the Cowboys going to sign Zeke? Are we going to have that?
They better sign somebody.
Reunited, and it feels
They
so
better sign somebody because
good.
Deuce Vaughn is not the answer.
Like, what are they going to do?
Let me tell you, Dallas, Deuce, you thought you had problems with Tony last
Maybe
year?
they're going to draft the running back.
Quorum?
The dude, yeah,
Oh, you know,
that's
we
possible.
were talking about no team needs a running back in the
They
Dallas.
need a running back.
The Dallas
They
Cowboys
needed every running back they just got
need
signed.
a running back.
They needed
bro.
all of them. Hell.
Yeesh, my
We're
goodness.
talking about the potential for AJ Dillon going out there. That's the state of that situation for them. Like, you guys need a running back real bad. Because literally there was it Dowdle, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that what it is?
I think
Like,
that's it, dude.
That's all you got, bro.
I mean,
You-
that
you-
team is
and
that
Zeke
running back room is
potentially-
caca.
Whew.
Pure caca. Clyde to Dallas.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the Dallas
Damn.
Cowboys.
Isn't he a free agent?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that happens.
You know what? That's actually the smartest thing Dallas could do.
that's lame.
Listen,
but,
and the games that Clyde played in, he had production.
Oh no, he came up big. He was a waiver wire pick of the week for me.
that's not going to be a running game that anybody has to worry about, though. So in turn, you're putting the
Yeah.
ball more in Dak's hands, and he's going to screw up more. So
That makes him way too one-dimensional, and like he just said, yeah, you're putting way
you are
too
the
much pressure on
same.
Dak at that
You're the
point.
same Dallas Cowboys,
Yeah,
and we
no.
can beat you the same exact way that you
I'm
can always be
dude.
beaten.
I'm flabbergasted that they did not pick up Derrick Henry.
Befuddled.
I mean,
I saw him go to Baltimore, and I'm just like, I knew this was coming, but at the same
Austin
time, damn,
Eckler is
Dallas,
getting $9 million between 2 years. Dallas couldn't pony that up. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
and
to
then
me,
and
bro.
then you turn your nose up at Zach Moss. Was like, why not sign Zach?
Yeah,
Moss?
for
Oh,
$8
damn.
million.
X-Men 97
What's
got a
your-
commercial?
What's your best
That was pretty
option?
dope. That was pretty dope.
Now you're signing running backs that are going to be lesser than Zach Moss. So how much money? Like, you're going to pay them what you didn't want to pay him?
Right. Imagine they pay CEH 7
Yeah.
and you didn't want to give Zach Moss 8.
Yeah, same question they asked me about AJ Brown. Hey, imagine overpaying for a running back now and then not wanting to pay for a running back that you could have had like a couple of days ago.
The Cowboys
Literally a
are
couple
weird.
days ago. Like, Derrick Henry is getting 16 million, 8 per year, somewhere around there. A number
Yes.
that's under
Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't want to pay $8 million, bro?
No, Austin Eckler's only getting
He's getting
3. No, he's getting 9 between 2 years.
The Mavericks are
damn,
trash.
you got freaking.
Bro, they're only paying him 3.5 this
Wow.
year and like 4 for next year with like some
That's-
incentives and shit like that.
They fleeced his ass,
Who?
bro.
Bro, Austin
Eckler's
Washington's
deal.
only paying him $9 million between 2
That's
years.
genius. Bro, they are gonna succeed. Like, the
Yeah, I was
Commanders are
reading the
coming,
breakdown
bro.
of the
I can't believe he
contract. I
took
was
a
like, yo, that's
contract like that.
insane.
Dan Quinn and the Commanders are my sleeper pick in the NFC because
The
they are doing
Commanders.
all the right things. This is the slogan for them, though, and this is going to be a big, crucial factor for them. They are our quarterback away, so that's going to be the thing for them now. It's
They
like,
should have
what
signed
do they
Kirk
do?
Cousins.
What do they do now as far as like in the draft? We mentioned, I think Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. You throw him in there, bro. Whew. That's an interesting situation. They're going to become a fun team to watch. Look what they're doing on the defensive side of the football. The draft capital, the fleecing that they just got of Austin Eckler.
That's, I mean,
A
dude,
great timeshare because
crazy.
Brian
Crazy.
Robinson is only 24 years old. Dude's a beast.
Yeah, I think having Austin Eckler there is not only going to keep Brian Robinson healthier throughout the season, but he's going to learn a whole lot from Austin Eckler. And by 25, 26, Brian Robinson is going to be a problem.
Yeah,
a problem.
Absolutely.
If he's not going to be one this year, he's definitely going to be one the following year.
and then
'Cause
my
I see it happening.
my favorite of all the running back moves was the Josh Jacobs to the Packers move. Like I feel like
That was interesting. And you know what's even
like-
more interesting about it is that he's guaranteed this year, and then the next 3 years on that contract are options.
Yeah,
So the Packers can kind of get
that's
out
how
of
the
that.
Packers
Like,
always do
yeah,
it.
they
That's
can get out of that
their
super
contract.
quick.
Like they'll pay you the first year, and then if they, they're ready, bro.
I
They're ready
was
to
like, touche.
'Cause,
That's a smart ass contract.
Green Bay don't want to spend much.
Yeah, but they're getting
no,
up.
they
To
don't. They
Josh
don't.
Jacobs is getting up to $27 million a year one.
But again, they're it's options after that though.
Yeah, that's still a lot for the first year.
No, it is, and that's why it's structured like that. That's exactly why he was like, all right, that's cool. I'll take the options.
It's like,
y'all
what else
gonna
would
pay
I
me
have?
and
this money.
they don't have a who's their number 2 now out there because AJ Dillon's gone. Like,
Oh, is he?
AJ Dillon is a free agent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Giants, get on the phones.
Yeah,
you guys got
I'm surprised
Singletary and Deion Jackson.
he would fit
right
the
now.
Cowboys.
AJ Dillon.
We
Well,
signed
they were
him.
talking about
I didn't see
Deion
that.
Jackson is on the Giants.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. They were talking about him, AJ Dillon, on earlier because they were talking about how the Cowboys aren't doing shit. So they brought them up on NFL Network naturally because it's national media news. Like they're just everybody's taking liberties at them and going through the list of all the players that are still currently available. And AJ Dillon is one of the guys that's like now on the top of that list.
That's
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So Eric Gray.
We still have Eric Gray.
You guys just
And we have,
drafted him too.
Brightwell.
Yeah,
we
but
still
you
have Gary
also signed
Brightwell.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah, no,
Which was a
Brightwell
great
is
pickup.
a special teams guy, even though we have him on the
And
running
Jacobs
back.
says Jacobs is going to fail in Green Bay.
I don't think so.
You think so?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's great for Jordan Love. It's great for their
Yeah,
offense.
yeah,
They have all
I
their
don't
wide
think
receivers already. I mean, I think they're
As much as I hate giving Green Bay props and stuff like that because of RJ, I think they'll be okay.
I think they're in good shape
Yeah,
in comparison to a lot of teams. And Josh Jacobs is the move where it's like to me at this point in time when you think about the trajectory of careers, Jacobs is an upgrade from Aaron Jones.
I think
He's a
Jordan
hard-nosed
Love.
runner.
Again, I hate giving him props, but I think Jordan Love is going to put it together this year. I think this is where the game actually slows down for the guy, and he actually might be able to put some shit together this year, in my opinion, as long as he stays healthy.
And he
I
can
wonder what his record
perform under
was.
pressure.
Right? Yeah. He's got all that stuff's
he's-
got to fall into place for him too.
He's
but-
shown that he can match the moment in some instances.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we might see more of that down the road, which only makes that division more fun to watch.
It's going to seesaw for him. He either goes that way or that way. There's no in between. I don't think.
But what's easier for him is that he's going to be in a 2-team division because the Vikings and the Bears have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean the
And
Bears could surprise people, but yeah, I don't wholeheartedly disagree with you neither.
The fact that teams called their bluff and they folded the way they did as far as this
It's crazy.
Fields
I mean, that
thing,
is crazy.
they kind of killed their own momentum going into free agency and what exactly they could do because now
What they do in the draft, whether they trade that pick or whatever like that, it literally that is the defining moment for the Chicago Bears.
you have no trade leverage over anybody unless you're willing to deal yourself out of the top 5 because everybody already knows the value of the quarterback that once was your most prized possession that you were trying to flip for a ransom. There's no ransom. Now you have to do a business straight up, and the other team is going to win that trade no matter what you do moving forward because, like you said earlier, we're talking about Justin Fields going for a draft pick, bro, and not a high one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And for another team to have Justin Fields as the backup while they sort all this QB mess out and potentially talk about how Justin Fields have a clean slate to start in 2025 with somebody for nothing. It's spooky times in the NFL right now.
No,
man.
it's insane.
A lot's
dude.
still going to go down from now till
To the
April.
draft, and then we still have the draft.
April
and we gotta
28th,
deal
I
with
believe,
draft
right?
night. I'm sure there's going to
Yep.
be trades on draft night. It's going to be hectic,
It's
dude.
the first
The
first
annual
official day of the
old
new
money,
year.
the
Josh
annual
Jacobs did a great job.
on the
trashing
money
Chargers
sports
and Broncos
get
off
together.
being playing a last place schedule this whole career. He will be playing real defenses in the NFC now. I mean, I got to see the Packers' schedule, but the Vikings and Chicago's defense don't really scare me all that much. So he got to play them twice a year. So those are pretty soft defenses in my opinion.
Cowboys
there.
defense is supposed to be good, but Green Bay runs all over them every time they play.
Yeah, that too.
So-
Like historically, you know what I mean?
They literally run all over
But
them.
I have to look at Green Bay's defense to really kind of coincide with what you're saying, Jay. But I don't disagree with you neither. Like, yeah, Jacobs has had the pleasure of playing against softer defenses in his career, but you know, that to me that don't really mean much.
I think it just stems from Jacob's AFC West bashing right now. That's what it is.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Kansas City.
I get his point of view because he's a Chiefs fan. He's just
But he
bashing the
also
Raiders.
drafts Josh Jacobs too. Like
Yeah,
his
but
teams
that's
will-
my point
his
exactly.
teams will
Though.
dra- he
That's my
knows why.
point exactly. I've seen him draft.
You know why you're drafting him. You know why you're drafting him.
Aaron Jones is from Dallas. Jones, yeah, I mean that makes sense too.
I mean, you got to do something at this point, right? But now Jones is going to be Minnesota's RB1, which can't be too exciting.
RJ equals Austin Theory,
Who?
a wrestler.
Oh,
Austin Theory.
That's all Austin Theory does is talk shit.
But yeah, man. Shit's going to be wild. We do have the draft coming up.
We do.
We got the baseball draft. We got the real life NFL draft starting on April 25th coming
Yes,
up.
we do.
We've got the rookie draft coming up for
Mock draft
Dynasty
season's
Fantasy.
almost here.
Mock draft season already here. March
so
Madness.
when is our baseball draft?
It's going down on March the 27th. It's going to be the eve of opening day for baseball across the league, which the opening day is March 28th. So March 27th, 2 weeks from today, as a matter of fact, here live on the Money Podcast, we're going to be covering all the latest news
I'll try and
while
be here.
drafting our baseball team.
I got a
at the
live
same
look
time.
at Jerry Jones.
And well, maybe
A live look.
There he is.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just Aaron
Cowboys
Boone.
out on free agency. C-Rack.
This is how Cowboys fans feel right now.
There, done. What did Randy call them? The Arlington Horse Riders.
That's
That's what
She don't even
she
call them
went
the Arlington
from- yeah, she
Cowboys?
went from calling them the Arlington Cowboys to the Arlington Horse Riders.
That's
Because every time the team
Oh,
upsets her,
snap.
she'll deduct from their name. And I think she's not even.
the horse
Hey.
riders.
And I'm sure that a lot of them feel that way about their team right now because you're watching all this crazy movement and knowing what your team needs. And it's not over, but a lot of good pieces are already off of the board. So now it's the fight for the scraps and also the buildup of how important this draft still is to all of us. Like, because there's still so much that we need.
There's still so much unpacking to do. Like,
Yeah.
there's still so much to be figured out. The fact that the Giants want to try and move up is so alarming.
Disturbing?
Yeah, it's alarming. It's not disturbing, but it is alarming.
This all just feeds into our summertime predictions for what these teams' records end up being after we see these rosters and after the draft happens.
yeah, like
And-
our fantasy bits are
Just-
going to be crazy this year. I already know it.
Yo, can Ayo get another
figured
three? Like,
what we can do for fantasy, like when you're able to come back in, like we can have the episodes of like as far as winners and losers for like the certain players. I didn't want to dump it into today's podcast because we had so much that we needed to cover. And there's still a lot of time as far as like fantasy football and fantasy season goes. But now, like for Dynasty, you got the rookie draft coming up and everything. So it's already slowly starting back up again.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of teams and player values are coming into question. We see some of these big names coming into town and you're thinking about your job security. Like for me, I'm excited for Calvin Austin because right now you guys ain't got no wide receiver 2. And he's just sitting there young, ready to run
You got him in
routes
Superflex,
fast as
right?
hell. Yep, Superflex. I paid that $25 bid for him. I kept him because he was so expensive, and I had the 25.
now you
next
feel
to his
like you're
name
almost
still.
rewarded.
And
I can't believe
and
you just spent $25 on Darnell Mooney, bro. You're so weird. This guy's
And-
jumping all his fab in the offseason. We're not even in April yet. We haven't even the
Yeah,
NFL
but
draft hasn't happened.
we get 200 more fab when the season starts
Yeah, but why are you dumping everything right now?
because there's pieces on the board that I need. I'm not gonna wait for these guys to wake up and go get them.
I get it, but you don't
I
have
gotta
to
get
dump
them now.
that much money. You're the only person who bid on Mooney. and you
When
put
is the
$25.
WrestleMania special?
You could just put 10.
I'll do it.
I might actually do a
Price
WrestleMania
is
special on
right.
a night that's not
Price is
dedicated
right.
to the podcast.
You say $10, and then the guy next to you is like, "Oh, I bid $11," and boom, and then you're the guy that bid 10. I'm not. I've watched Prices Right my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm bidding $11.
No way.
Like that's because I know the guy next to me must have bid 10. I will not wait. I got Bo Melton. I dropped 50 on him because it's all imaginary money.
So if somebody bid 26, that's something you're living.
Noli said you're making him feel bad.
Why? Why? What I say?
Is he in that dynasty league with you too? With the
Oh,
fat?
he is.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, he was talking shit about it too. No, I sent you a trade, bro. By the way. Why you in?
Yo.
Oh, you
What'd
already read
spend?
it. No, bro, that wasn't a crazy trade that I sent you, bro.
It probably was. It probably was.
I'm just trying to gauge because like the problem is, look,
Oh no, that was your brother that said you're making him feel bad.
Oh.
the problem is a lot of times people will be like, oh, send me something. So I send them something, and that something, they're just like, oh man, that's crazy. What are you thinking? What are you out of your mind? Well, it's like, if you can just give me something to work with, I promise I won't hit accept right away because I know people get nervous sometimes when they send trades too fast. I'll wait a minute. But like, just give me something to work with as far as like who's available. What do you need on your team? You know what I mean? Like we're seeing real
Noli's
life
team is pretty
negotiation.
solid though. When
They
you look
are.
at his team,
They are.
he barely needs anything, man.
It's a really good team that he has. But I'm
A
offering
young running back and maybe a young wide receiver, but besides that, he's kind of set.
I was originally offering an enhancement to his football team in a bargain. But, you know, he was like, I'm going to wait for free agency to play out. And I was like, I totally get it. I understand. Everybody was giving me that answer. I was like, it makes sense because the value
I'm waiting
of
for
your
the draft.
players.
I'm waiting for the draft.
Yeah, now you have the draft coming up. So the value of your players is either going up or going down. You know what I mean? And you're seeing where they're landing and if you like that landing spot more or less. Like for me, Russ was unemployed for a little bit on my team. So it was rough. I had him on my bench. He didn't have a job. Now my man's has a job, and it's just like relief. And so now I got Russell Wilson, Anthony Richardson, and old Matthew
I
Stafford.
picked up the guy who just got cut today. So there's that. There's that going on.
I saw
My
that.
QB room is the
Jacoby,
drizzling shits,
you
as
got,
my man to the left would say.
You got Jacoby Brissett. You got Jacoby Brissett. I saw that. And Jacoby Brissett's probably going to start because unless the Patriots do.
Yeah,
Like-
I just, he's not putting up 25 per, I don't know. I'll probably play him, but we'll see.
I'm not going to like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I still have Higgins, Diggs, and Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
So there's that. Are we adding another flex? I know we talked about it briefly last year. I got to get everybody in the group chat.
I'd probably vote no on it, but
No? Okay.
if I
That's rare when you
if
vote
majority
Yeah.
That's when you know it's not a good idea.
if majority says yes to it, I'd play it. But me personally, like I
There
don't
were
think
so
it
many
needs
times
it.
last year where I wanted to put in another guy in my line. I'm like, fuck, I wish there was two flexes in the super flex. I didn't think about it. And it's fucked up because Alex did mention it before the season had started, like a week before.
Definitely plenty of time to throw it into a vote. So, that way we have everything figured out and established now.
Yeah,
so
I'll
that
bring
when
it
the
up.
season
and see what
starts,
they say.
all we have left to do is play. What do you guys think Tannehill ends up? Denver?
Denver.
Because they ain't got no money to pay anybody.
Yeah.
Miami. I mean, not Miami. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
He's still
He
out
still
there.
could end up in Washington.
You give him a 1-year deal. It's pretty crazy that Darnold got a job before Tannehill.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That
nuts.
is kinda nuts.
It's just like,
Oh
when you
yeah,
think about
that's right. They
tiers,
took him.
Yeah.
So he's gonna end up
Just get
taking a
Tannehill,
backup
take it
job
both.
probably.
You might as well get them both.
Or what if like Carolina went and signed Tannehill and just
That'd
have
be
him
weird.
help Bryce Young? Like just hold the clipboard.
No, Tannehill
and
don't
just-
like coaching people. He said
Yeah.
that already.
It's not my job.
Well, that's why things played out the way that they did.
But you know what? I don't blame guys for taking that route sometimes neither, man. Like me personally, if I was in the league, I'd obviously, mentor somebody. But
Easy for you to say.
I guess, sitting from where I'm sitting at now, you're right. It is easy for me to say that. I don't know if I would still say that if I was an NFL player or even
Son
a
of
pro
a
player to
bitch.
begin with. But
Bro, he
at the
literally-
same time,
he-
these guys are playing for their jobs. You know what I mean? Like Tannehill's fighting for his life,
Rich
to provide
quarterback.
for his family. Like,
Yeah, I mean
he
that's
don't got time to mentor people, and I respect that. Honestly, I kind of respect that
a
to a
bridge.
certain extent.
A bridge quarterback is exactly what Denver needs because Denver doesn't even have a bridge. They have nothing.
No, yeah, that
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill at Denver.
London Bridge
It
is
makes
falling
sense.
down. Yeah,
makes sense.
makes perfect sense.
There's
They
no way
can't
they're
spend.
Jarrett Stidham all the way.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
be serious. That's my logic.
yeah,
like
that
with
kid
the
did,
the
yeah.
draft coming up and with free agency and the fact that you're paying for Russell Wilson right now, still like you
What is Denver doing, bro? wasting
What-
Javonte Williams' career.
What are you doing and what can you do? Because right now you're putting yourself in that Detroit Lions 1990s realm where you're like going to disappear for
I
a
thought
long
that
time.
defense was gonna be like nasty. Like
They
back
were. They wasted him.
when- I know.
I'm
All of
surprised
them.
Pat Surtain hasn't asked out yet.
Me too. Like that kid is like the second coming of Champ Bailey, and they're just
They,
blowing
they
it.
were holding good football teams to 17 points and losing
Yeah.
because their team had 10, 9. It's just like, help them. Do your part. Like, their defense was elite. You just wouldn't know it because the offense was that bad. How can you whiff on this? And then you let Sean Payton get rid of this guy, and now you're paying this much? Like, you guys couldn't just get along?
Sean Payton came in there, started yelling at Russ, and it just went downhill.
How long before
Took
Sean
his
Payton is
offense.
gone? Like, how much, like,
I won, and Denver had lost. Like, I know they got rocked that 72-pointer.
Yeah, that was bad.
bro, depending
But-
on what side
Why did
you're
you bring
on.
that up? That was so
That
bad.
had nothing to do with Russ, though.
No, it
Like,
didn't.
that was his
No,
defense.
And they
yes.
played better after that. Like, they turned it around.
He went
after that.
6-1 down that
They
stretch.
beat Kansas City.
Then
after
he
that.
had 2 losses. Like, when they benched him, they were 1 game out of the playoffs.
Crazy. That is wild.
And they actually had a tiebreaker or 2 with the people ahead of them. So had they,
if you're on that team, how do you even feel about that? Like, if you're some of the guys in the locker room, like, how do you go to work and look at the coach in the face and look at the owner like, damn, that
Like,
was y'all
yo,
wanted to do? Like,
How
They
do you-
could have
how do you
gone-
bench 'em
they were
after
7
the trade you made with Seattle for the picks.
what
You
did they
don't have
finish
that
at?
pick.
7-10?
yeah, but I think they had.
What
to
did they
because
finish?
didn't wanna
7 and
pay
10,
him more
right?
Money than they had already owed him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to bench him last year, like, the logic behind
Yeah,
all
they had
of
an
this,
opportunity
like,
to have a
cost
winning
you
record of
business.
I
9
get
and
it.
8.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Russ could have got them to 9 and 8 and let the chips fall where they
But
may.
yeah, my bad. 7 and 10, I think.
wild card spot.
So think about that. Like, will we still be saying this about Russ right now? Like, if he got them to 9 and 8, maybe a playoff berth?
Maybe not.
Sean Payton didn't give him the chance to have that.
He beat Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Sean Payton
He
entered
beat
the
Josh
stadium.
Allen.
A lot of people were beating Josh Allen last year.
Josh Allen was beating himself.
That's
Yeah.
And Bills are another team where I'm asking myself, like, what are you guys up to?
Oh, dude.
Josh Prescott at times.
Josh Prescott.
Dang,
Dude,
that's a
is
good one. That shit
the
went over my head real
perfect-
quick.
That is the
That
perfect
is a
name. From
good
now on-
one.
From now on,
Josh
Josh
Prescott.
Prescott.
Damn.
Like, moving forward.
Dito, Josh Allen, Buffalo, you guys gotta figure it out.
Bro, he could have won that game
Figure
against the
it
Chiefs. He
out.
overthrew his
They're,
guy.
they're going to be a shootout team. Their defense isn't going to be as good.
To who though? Like Diggs doesn't even look like he wants to catch the ball half the time.
Who's
So
their
is
starting
Shakir?
safety? Who's their starting corner?
They don't know.
Yeah,
they don't have
no,
one,
don't.
dog.
That
They have-
Elam,
they-
the Elam kid is their starting corner now.
They lost Edmonds the year prior. Like,
McDermott's career depends on the draft. Like, his career's on the
they
line.
were
This
so
might be his
overspent to
time
the
of the
cap.
Because they're going to go so hard
What
on
did they cut to
defensive
get
picks.
under
If
the
you're
cap
Buffalo,
before
would
this-
you go as far as trading Josh Allen right now?
It's your most valuable piece.
You know what?
How long
People
before
been,
you just
people
bring it
been
up?
saying that lately.
I mean,
They're probably,
dude,
someone's probably scared to get fired if they bring that up in the office. It's like, what if we
Hey, can we
trade
trade
Josh? You just throw him out the window. Like, who we
like
that
Uncle Phil
meme-
does the fucking DJ.
The meme, the person gets in the boardroom.
You saw that the Angels were willing to lose Otani for nothing just so that they could sell tickets
Yeah, they're
to
crazy.
their games.
I don't know. Buffalo should consider that, man, because it can change the trajectory of
Bro.
their organization. Because if they don't,
If the Buffalo Bills trade Josh Allen, those fans will never go shovel at that stadium again for a snowstorm. Like, those fans love you so much, and they've been through it all with you: the 4 Super Bowls, the overtime nonsense.
nah, that would be rough.
If you
13
and trade
seconds.
Josh Allen, bro, like Buffalo would lose one of the most loyal, loving fan bases in sports,
That would be rough as a fan.
and
to
it would,
take,
it would be
'cause
such
that's
a
dagger.
cold, like
Josh Reynolds or Tyler Boyd.
Josh Reynolds was actually pretty good last
He
year.
was.
Josh
I-
Reynolds was pretty good.
I'd take for the Steelers. I'd take Tyler Boyd.
Josh Reynolds was balling out on,
Josh
days
Reynolds
where
is
you
a
don't start
perfect
him.
fit in Detroit. Him and damn, what's the quarterback? Jared Goff. They have a very good rapport with each other.
Yeah.
So I think it would behoove Detroit to kind of keep Josh Reynolds. And Pittsburgh already has enough small receivers, so Tyler Boyd makes more sense.
He had a good Yeah, Reynolds had a good year last year. He was making a lot of big plays. A lot of times where you're thinking it was going to be Jameson Williams after he served the suspension, it was Josh Reynolds that was out there just balling, getting touchdown catches.
Williams has
primary
turned into
target.
a bust, man. I thought he was going to be a stud wide receiver coming into the league. But
Yeah, time off the field didn't really help him.
no, not at all. He couldn't
Eagles
stop
denied GM Saquon talks.
Gambling. Of course they
Phillies
do.
Housey Roseman didn't insist he didn't talk to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to hear it. You know what? I don't even give a shit. I don't even give a shit at this point, bro. He's an Eagle.
He's an
You're
op.
dead to me.
Say
You're
it.
dead. You hear me? Dead.
Give us Sutton if we don't draft a wide receiver.
Who's to who? To what team? What are we talking about?
I just said that Facebook.
Damn it! It just says Facebook user.
Declare yourself.
Declare yourself. I
Cortland Sutton
declare
is a piece that,
bankruptcy.
and that's another thing. Denver came out and said we're not trading Cortland Sutton either. So it's like, what are you doing?
But they trade Judy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
bro?
they came out and let.
I
the
mean, I get
public
Judy
know.
probably had to go. He was just a bad.
Maybe you get more value in a trade. Like you
Who, for Sutton?
for Judy, they figured like they'd get more in a trade for Judy than they would for Cortland Sutton.
Nah, I think it was more or less the attitude of Judy. They just had to. He kind of had to go. He did.
Interesting.
So I mean,
How many fake Twitter accounts did you get fooled by in the last couple days?
I stayed off. A sleeper was telling me a bunch of stuff, and then the all the group chats that I'm in, the information just started circulating.
I just stay away from them. I kind of learned how to pinpoint them at this point, so I just stay away from them.
The Titans fan page will be good for the updates, but you just can't get caught up in the banter because some of the shit talking is
The
just irritating.
Panthers are expected to visit with our favorite overpaid DE, Clowney.
Reading Snead is going to Indy. They're finalizing the extension before announcement. Damn it, bro.
Nobody's already doing mock drafts at the one spot.
Colts are about to get Snead. That's a
Look who he takes at one in the mock.
He's got the number one pick.
Look who he takes at one.
Wow. Not surprised. But maybe he's throwing us off with that, though. He might have a. Yeah, I mean, this is new territory for all of us. It's only my second baseball draft, so maybe he's throwing you for a loop with that. It's a mock. It's just a woozy and a wazi. It's not going to be official until March 27th live on the podcast when we sit here and we draft our baseball teams. We'll be posting our teams in the forum. I'll be posting the Sandlot Baseball Association draft order in the forum as well a little bit later on tonight. Have that circulate and get everybody ready. So now you know what your position is going to be. You have the time to do your homework, grab yourself a fantasy baseball magazine. You know, whatever strategies work for you for fantasy football. I will say this, with fantasy baseball, when you play it, it's going to keep you busy until football gets here, but it's also going to help you clean up a few things heading into fantasy football. And you'll get what I mean once football comes back. It's like if you're in the league, you're going to be learning a few, like day by day as it goes by, like certain
19 minutes ago, Colts are speculated as the team to beat
that help you.
regarding a trade for Snead.
The Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that news. Again, our division being active.
Yeah.
Like everybody's countering
Super
everybody.
active.
So now if they make that move, Jags become the team in fourth place in my
Your
eyes.
division has been more active by default compared to the NFC East because the King Cowboys ain't doing shit.
And a lot of it is building our trenches and
Yeah.
going out and getting those.
And that's how I
types
feel
of
like the
players.
Giants. The Giants have been doing it smartly, dude.
Because when you think about it, that whole division had their quarterbacks last year's draft. Levis,
Yeah.
Richardson, Stroud. Like they went and grabbed their quarterbacks in last year's crop.
And
Now they're filling out the other positions.
they
based
see
on
what they
their
have at
needs are.
QB, so they're gearing up. They're trying to protect the quarterbacks, giving
Yeah.
the quarterbacks toys and all that good stuff.
Like,
so
countering what's
it
going
makes
on.
sense, man. What you guys are doing in that division really all kind of makes sense.
Wow.
It does.
And
That division is going to be fun to watch next year as long as everybody stays healthy and stuff like that. So
it's like the breaking news season of On the Money podcast with all the news and updates and changes. You know what I'm saying?
Cowboys
Like,
have signed Cat Williams.
So next week, what are we even doing next week? What's the preview for next week?
I don't even know.
Do we talk a little bit of fantasy impact? I mean, I guess we're still going to be covering all the shit that's happening.
Yeah,
right now.
it'll be hard. It'll honestly be hard to even discuss
The
fantasy
second
stuff,
tier,
man.
the
'Cause
second
the
wave.
draft can change things fantasy wise too. So
We also can do our MLB breakdown and have some bold predictions for
There you go.
baseball.
Yeah,
That makes
And
sense.
since we did the drawing, just have baseball on part of the loop.
Yep.
And we'll have live coverage and updates on the Supreme Baller Society playoffs that'll be happening.
Oh,
It'll be
that
3
starts
days
next
in.
week.
Yeah,
Yep.
it starts on Monday, so that'll be good. So yeah, just,
All my players are hurt. Like, what the hell?
Hey, same here, bro.
you got a couple days to figure it out.
Same here, bro. Done for
Is
the
Julius
season.
Randle coming back this year?
Yeah, he'll be back by April.
What does that do me?
Oh, nothing.
The playoffs are about
I'm
to
worried
happen.
about the Knicks. I am not worried about your fantasy team.
I like what the Texans have been doing too, bro. I hate the Texans, but I can't lie. They're having an A- type of offseason. Like, they have
Honestly,
the right
it's
people
pretty
there.
cool to see the Texans finally become something.
They have the
We
right
watched
people in the
them
building, bro.
become a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Like,
it's the only team that I've ever watched become a team. So
they
to watch them finally be good is actually kind of cool.
they changed from the very dark place that they were in.
Oh,
with
yeah.
everything with
The
Deshaun
Derek
Watson
Carr
and everything.
days.
Like they really turned things around. CJ Stroud is that guy. Tank Dell is going to come back healthy. You got Nico Collins. Now you add a veteran like Joe Mixon. They added the Nico Autry to an already good defense.
They extended Dalton Schultz.
They have
That was big.
the Texans have the potential to win like 11, 12 games next year.
Did you see what Dalton said about the Texans compared to the Cowboys? Like playing for them?
He said in Houston, you could just concentrate on football.
Yeah, it's the straight football.
He goes,
there.
you're sitting there working out. People are watching you.
Like you're in a zoo.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. He said that shit playing for the Cowboys is like being in a zoo.
Jesus.
Yeah, bro, that's insane. You imagine you're just in the weight room, just pumping out shit, and
Yeah.
guys, that people are just
Right
banging
here
on
is
the
our weight
window.
room, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, banging on the window like you're some sort of gorilla.
Dalton selfie.
I mean, I can imagine the circus that they are. And I guess that their counter to that was let's have a quiet free agency. So
Yeah, like that's it.
so that
It-
nobody's talking
Yo,
about us.
what they're doing is
That's
literally
nothing.
like blowing my mind, bro.
It's like
I'm
when-
mad at the Eagles for signing Saquon, and I'm mad at Dallas for doing absolutely nothing.
It's like when
It's
SpongeBob-
really weird.
when SpongeBob was lost with Patrick, and they were like, let's ask the Magic Conch. He's like, what do we do? He's like, nothing. And
Nothing.
he sat there for days. And the trooper found them. That's crazy, bro.
Yo,
That's
The
insane.
Nuggets have defeated the Heat.
Nuggets have taken down Miami.
Another
to
under
close
for
out
me?
The first matchup. Of course, you got the doubleheader tonight. You got Lakers and Kings, which I will be watching at the Casa as we slowly wrap up the podcast
How do
tonight.
you feel about the guys that are being scratched off the awards list there? The guys who aren't eligible.
It is what it is. Play.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I like it.
They're
I kinda
finally
like it.
doing
Play.
something about the backlash that they've been receiving for years about the
Mhm.
subject, because we've been talking about it on here for years as far as the load management.
Like, I
Oh,
kinda
you're going to get
complained
players
about
that
it
don't
still.
deserve MVP. No, you're going to get players that have been playing all damn year.
Yeah, I've complained about the whole load management thing all year because it still bothers me. But seeing that list and knowing those guys aren't going to get like awarded for anything like MVP or All Pro, like really kind of like, I smiled at it. I was like, good, like they get what they deserve. And some of those guys were really, really, truly hurt. But I know some of those guys also were just kind of taking days off too. So fuck
You
that.
deserve the recognition for being able to play 65 plus.
Yeah, hell
games.
yeah, yeah, that
Anyway,
too.
Like,
That too.
if you manage to survive
Yep.
the gauntlet,
If you want
then
the accolades, stay healthy, bro. Take care of your
Yeah.
body.
that's what it was originally based on. Unless
Yeah.
we're that far gone,
Yep.
like you know,
Yep.
You don't play
as
any
a society.
defense,
We are
like-
that far gone, but
like
no.
you made everybody not care about the All-Star game anymore. The least you could do is still keep the value in the
I mean,
MVP award.
as a collective, as fans, we can't. It's hard for us to even care about the regular season. Most people don't tune into the NBA until the playoffs start. So,
I gamble, so I watch all the time.
I mean, yeah, that's honest, but it's crazy that you have to spend your
Right.
own money just to be in tune with what's going on.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Otherwise,
that's literally
I
the only
wouldn't-
reason
yeah,
why. Yeah, it's the only
I
reason
wouldn't
why
be
we
watching
even
it.
watch.
I wouldn't
Because
be.
you're right. If we don't gamble our money on these teams, then we're not even going to pay attention.
I'd set my fantasy lineups like I did every other season and completely bomb because I wouldn't know what was actually going on and what people were doing on a nightly basis. And now it's to the point where I can pretty much figure out people's averages after a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Just what they did over last week.
Oh shit.
But yeah, man. Fun times for all of us. A different league.
Saquon.
We have the apology to Saquon, followed by the bashing of Saquon Barkley. What may or may not have been illegal tampering from the Philadelphia Eagles in
Don't even care.
negotiations with Saquon
I don't
Barkley.
even care. It doesn't even matter.
The trajectory of the quarterbacks who have jobs, the ones who don't. Same for the running backs, the wide receivers. which this is the wide receiver draft class. Like, how far up the ladder did they climb from this week to next week? More news that breaks. A little bit of baseball talk on next week's podcast. So be ready to rep your baseball squads and give us your World Series playoff predictions, NL, AL MVP, Cy Young, all that good stuff. And we'll throw out some more bold predictions because those were a hit last week, so we're going to keep it coming. Good to
The
have
girls' March Madness might be better than the boys' March Madness this year, by the way.
Yeah,
Like, I can't even tell you who the top prospect is for basketball for the men.
me either.
But I know Caitlin Clark. I know her name.
Dude, I'm already watching NBA every night. For you to ask me to start watching college basketball too, like, come on, bro. I can't, dude. I can't.
I want to watch hockey. I need to get into hockey.
It's on sometimes. Heather was watching it for a bit when she was doing her props on hockey. I watch it at work sometimes when there's nothing else going on. Their games start usually around the same time as basketball, so it's decent. Like, if the Rangers are on or the Devils, I'll catch that shit. But yeah, man. Another great podcast. Shout out to everybody giving us the
Should have
feedback.
damn took $12 cash out. What the hell was I thinking?
It's
It'd have
the time of the
It'd have
night.
been $11 more.
It's the time of the night where we reflect on some of our bets of the night. Since we were live here, so
So
now
I
we
didn't
go
want to
back
bet tonight, man. That's why I
and
didn't want
we
to bet tonight.
reflect on the greens and the reds and the things that we could have done right and wrong. I
Who
leave
hit
it
that
to
three?
Any last words? Or any final thoughts? I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
Any
man.
final thoughts?
F
Like,
the Eagles, bro. I wish nothing but bad things for the Philadelphia Eagles. And tonight was cool, man. Tonight was a good cast. We got the order out the way. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are tuning in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. live, Facebook. You can't miss it.
Oscar. And with that,
Another
see you
red
next
check.
week. Same time, same place, here at On the Money Sports.
Stay classy, New Jersey.
See you guys next week.